Yours is so much fancier.
And
than
let me.
mine.
It's really not.
Oh.
That's one of my favorite microphones in the world.
Why?
so-
Because you can grip it.
No, you can use them for whatever.
So forgive my ignorance.
Anything
Are
in
you
the
in
world,
spectacle
so.
also?
No, I'm not. No way.
Are you in a band?
I have no part of that. I got some music projects, but none of them are playing live. With most of them with Dustin. Yeah, pretty crazy stuff. But as of now, I'm gonna play in that Halloween show that we talked about.
Cool.
Oh, we need
The
to
Do
throw
For It
the promo.
Records Halloween
Okay.
show. We'll be playing a Korn set. One of my
Corn
bands.
tribute thing.
Yes, we hope.
You should play their low
I should probably
rider.
go ahead and get the guitar and start practicing now.
You probably should. Although, I've only been practicing the Billy Idol set. So,
Yeah.
because the corn bass is just sitting over there.
Yeah, I
gotta-
should be in a lot better shape this time because I don't have the mental baggage as
Oh.
last time. Remember,
Oh, yeah.
Do you do the monkey parts or the head parts?
I do the head.
Yeah.
I am head,
I had to think about that.
but we don't.
That's
do
the
it like
extent
that.
of my knowledge of corn.
He's the pre-Jesus head.
Yeah, but we don't really play it. There's parts we swap, me and Dave, so who is in Spectacle, and that, so it's fun. Like we kind of do which ones we think is the funnest, and in my world that means the harder part I'll give to Dave, no matter if it's head or monkey.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can play that part, Dave, and he usually nails it.
All right. And one other thing, real quick.
Like sexy smooth.
Where to put? Oh, it's right here in front of my
Sexy
face.
smooth, sexy smooth.
Where is?
Yeah.
this?
Wow.
Let's see here. Come on.
Look at this.
Come on, get it on. RoboTuner in the house.
No,
If
just-
it's something nasty, I don't want to see it.
It's not nasty. Watch.
That's what they always say.
And then,
It's nothing.
oh my
nasty.
gosh,
And then it gets
what is
nasty.
she doing?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
Because her generation of nasty is different from our generation.
Took
it really
took
is.
down 2 perpetrators.
Is it like the whale busting the fish?
No, this
Bum,
guy
bum, bum.
robs
bum,
this
bum.
gas
Yeah,
station.
he gets him in
and he flips the
a
gun
rear
on
naked
him.
choke and then grabs his gun and puts it to his temple, and then the video cuts out. It's pretty wild.
And his buddy ran
Pretty
off.
wild.
Is it staged?
I don't know.
I don't know. I can't tell.
I never.
It-
it's
it
so hard
kind
to
of-
believe stuff anymore
Yeah, I mean,
because everyone's got videos, everyone
Yeah.
stages stuff, and it sometimes is CGI. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
so good at reproducing things that.
it doesn't look manipulated. It looks like a
doesn't look
security
staged.
cam, but
Yeah.
who knows with that? You could manipulate
You can
that
copy
easily.
anything. It's
Yeah,
all
you can.
just digital.
Oh look,
We'll bring
It's
some light
blue.
up. Oh, we're way blue.
Oh, it's real.
Oh, we're blue.
Ex-Marine was caught on surveillance video stopping an armed robbery at a Yuma gas station in Arizona.
Wow,
so he didn't kill the dude.
No.
that's
We'll do
very
some-
unmarine-like.
Yeah.
you gotta take out the threat with prejudice.
Shout out Phoenix, Arizona.
We're gonna do shout outs this show.
Streets are safer.
Are you just gonna break in with breaking
Shout-outs.
news anytime you come up with something?
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure that y'all are not spewing misinformation.
Oh, man, I don't.
everywhere.
I didn't take my
Oh,
last
fact checker, huh?
Oh,
medicine,
fact
my
checker.
attention
All right.
medicine for this.
Good thing
That's
we
gonna
have-
throw me off the whole show.
All right, I gotta check one more thing and then we're
Oh,
getting
look.
rolling.
Like he's
Letting
wearing.
how's the chat room doing
Yeah.
tonight? How's everybody doing in there? Y'all doing all right?
Shout out to the 4
Oh.
people in the chat. I'm just
Shout out,
There are
yo.
people on the chat.
kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Hey,
That was
chat folks,
mean.
do I know any of you?
Let's see here.
To be sure to spay and neuter pets as well as yourself. Just reach down and cut those balls right off,
All right.
and
that
maybe
sounds
fry
good.
them up like a set of cat.
Okay, that works.
All right.
So Javier got pretty violent.
Ooh.
All right. So y'all want to start this thing up?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
I think
It's
so.
been a
guess.
crazy
Oh,
10
man.
days.
Let me.
Yeah, let's talk some shit.
Let me
Let's
see if
just
I can
go
get
nuts.
in this
This-
chat room here.
Yeah.
Can I curse or do we keep it clean?
No, you can curse. You can say
All right.
whatever you want. Just don't be
All
racist.
No, I have to.
Yeah, no.
There's a certain public persona I have to maintain professionally,
Yes.
so I can't get too crazy.
Yeah. I
But
understand that.
I can make very intelligent observations on things.
Oh, Robotuner is driving. Oh,
That's me.
that's you.
Yeah.
All right, let's fire this thing up. Y'all ready? Here we go.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of an intro here.
Okay.
Here we go.
He dropped down! He dropped down!
I think this is Robotuner.
Joe Biden, please!
We need to put that as an intro
I like the music.
song.
Gen Z, we need to band together. Please.
Yeah, this is going in some steam.
He was for Gen Z's first president. Ah!
I laugh at your pain. I mock your pain. Your pain means nothing to me.
This episode of the
J. John's Last Kicker.
is brought to you by
Guys note.
and
Victor Wrench.
Yeah.
and Plastic Object.
He's my dad. He says like stuff, and like even when he's like not, when there's like no adults around, it's just me and my sister. He says pretty offensive stuff. When he gets mad, he gets racist sometimes.
The Jerry Jonestown Massacre contains graphic
You were
material,
so tiny.
including offensive language, partial nudity,
I locked
and
her in a
completely
closet.
ridiculous thoughts and opinions
3
that
days.
shouldn't be expressed or shared by anyone. Listener discretion is advised.
And now coming at you from the Temple of I, just on the outskirts of where the West begins.
It's the Jerry Jonestown Massacre!
You say I gotta get on track, but I'm on the attack and I'm not looking back. You say I need to see the light, but it's already in sight, 'cause I'm a rocket in flight. I wanna see the light, watch the stars burn bright, touch a satellite, 'cause I'm a rocket in flight. I'm a rocket in flight. Watch me burn.
Show number 585. It is July 23rd, 2024. Happy Tuesday, Matt.
Happy Tuesday, Justin.
We have a almost full table tonight. I think next week we have a really full table.
Why? Who's coming in next week?
I think it's next week. We have a photography roundtable that was set up not by me.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's gonna
That's
be
the ones
gigantic.
I get to call in and sit on, right?
If you want to.
Yeah, that might be one I take a little R&R. Because this has been a rough couple of weeks.
And we'll get into that. It's been a rough few days.
I know, man. I feel like my life has become a episode of Newsweek or what was the show we were watching for a while? Newsweek?
No. Newsroom.
Newsroom.
Yeah.
I feel like my life has become Newsroom all of a sudden. It's like every time
Are you a
I
broadcaster?
start to calm down, my phone goes nuts because there's another crazy ass thing that's happening with our government. So it's weird. You haven't felt that Newsweek vibe this week?
No,
Or the week before?
I'm starting to believe simulation theory. I'm
This
really
is all a
starting to believe it, that
simulation?
this is all a simulation and this is all just
At the end of the day, we're
Like
all
it
going to
just
give each
doesn't
other
matter.
high fives and we're going to be in heaven. Just be like, hey, guys,
Yeah,
that was fun.
that was
Let's do
cool.
it again.
insert another quarter. Let's go another round.
Yeah, man.
Control Alt Delete.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it feels more like.
Let's
is
reboot it.
Someone's
Let's
about
go.
to do a Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, I don't know. I got some stuff I want to say. I'll say it later. I have a
We'll say it
I have a
later.
little soapbox I want to stand on for everybody that's freaking out. I want to just try to calm them down because there's a
you
lot
have
of
a
people.
tendency of not doing that, though.
freaking
you
out.
have a tendency of doing the complete opposite when you tell us that.
Well,
You're always
thanks
like,
for
"You know what?
spoiling the.
I got some good news for you guys. Everybody,
I
that
got
mean-
good news.
That means
I want
to the
to.
nuts.
I want to get on a soapbox later in the show and just try to calm everybody down
All right, sounds good.
With
Sounds
passion.
with passion,
and
with
love,
with love.
love and passion.
So
Happy
We
Tuesday, chat room. Sorry.
yeah, everyone in
throw
the
that
chat
in
room,
there.
happy Tuesday. We have someone new to the show tonight.
That would be
Sitting
me.
across from us. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, everyone. My name is Steve Troum. I'm a member of the Traumatics, actually the singer-songwriter for the band The Traumatics. Been around the Fort Worth music scene for a while. And by day, I'm a hand surgeon, which is kind of cool. And
it's kind of really awesome.
Yeah, and
That's where we met.
I don't know how long these shows go on, but if you know me, you also know that my brother Ken Scott played one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the movies. So we have a colorful family history.
And he's been on here.
Yeah, he needs to come in
He's
here and
made a
bring
trip
us some
on this.
pizza. I'd like to pick his brain on some pizza.
He's a
Some pizza
connoisseur,
talk,
man. He studies
That's what
it.
I've heard. I've heard he's good with the pizzas.
So now I'm having a good time here and thrilled to be hanging out with you guys on a happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Happy Tuesday, sir. It's nice to have you in here.
Yes.
And then we have someone else that's in here.
She has been on the show.
She
actually.
has
I
been on the
forgot.
show, but it's been 7 years ago as we played the audio at the beginning of the show
7 years.
when you sounded like a little munchkin.
That's weird.
Very weird,
I'm
huh?
just kidding.
Trying to dox your dad.
Yeah.
Try to dox my dad. Might do it again.
And you're going to be fact-checking this show.
Maybe.
It depends if my ADD allows it.
Yeah,
I might
I'm-
just say, shut the damn thing off. No, just kidding.
Right now, I'm just reading a season 4 wrap up of The Boys, so I'm not really paying attention.
I gotta start.
Have you
watching
watched
that
it
I
again.
saw that.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's been so long since I've watched, and there's everybody says you got to go back to it. You got to go back to it. That I think I'm gonna have to start it over. It's gonna be one of those that I have to
It's
go back and
great.
start the whole thing over.
Well-
Kind of like with Fargo.
Every season has
As a new.
at the
Has a
beginning
new-
of it shows you how last
Like
season
the
wrapped
recap?
up. A recap.
Yeah,
a
but
long
man,
recap.
that's a fuzzy time of periods.
That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of
investment to go
time.
through all
Yeah.
of the
All
series.
the whole
Yeah.
series.
You can do it without it, but if you really want all the full
Just do a
details and
catch-up.
backstories,
All right.
you can, and you got
Okay,
a lot of
okay,
time
okay.
to kill. You can do that.
I think I'm into the end of season 2. So
Oh, so you're only at
yeah, I haven't.
because
I don't
I was
even-
going to say
I
you
haven't
just want to
broken
watch
much-
episode 1 of season 3 again
No, I
because
just
that got you excited.
no, I haven't broke off much from the main branch. So to say,
Well, yeah, you need to watch it, and then there's the school one. What's it called?
Gen
The
V,
school one?
Yeah.
oh,
Gen
the
V,
Gen
and that's
V.
which
a
I
new-
did not see.
It's a new series, right?
And it's
I
all
didn't see
right.
that.
But
But
then I
it's-
was told that only really the last 2 episodes set you up for season 4 of The Boys.
Of The Boys?
Yeah.
Season
Which-
3?
No, Gen V.
Oh, their
The
spin-off
last
show?
2, yeah,
I
they
see.
got a series. I'm sure it's like 8 episodes or something. And the last 2 set up the election and the virus. I don't want to spoil it.
I didn't watch that.
But anyway,
It wasn't bad.
you don't have to watch Gen V to watch season 4
It
of The
wasn't bad.
Boys if you
Get
don't.
that, Thomas.
Because it's in
to.
the summary. If I
Yeah, it
remember right,
is.
it's
You
in the
get
summary.
you
And the
fill it
recap.
in your head.
Yeah.
You know what I did finally finish since we're doing a little TV talk right now? Alone. The last season of Alone. I finally finished it.
Wasn't there a new season going on
And
right
the thing
now?
that sucks, I didn't see the runner up. I didn't see how he went out, and he was the one guy that I wanted. That I was kind of, this dude knows what he's doing. He was like an older, like Canadian or I don't know if he was Canadian. He was from like the Midwest or something. Might as well be Canada.
I get them all mixed up. I get all the winners and all the runner-ups mixed up.
This dude
You
was an
know.
older dude. Like he was in his 50s, and he had long hair. Looked like he had hung out at billiards before.
May have.
So
The new season, they dumped them in the Arctic Circle.
well, this was in the. I think this was in the some. I think some native.
I thought it was in the
Ameri-
in
or
their,
not,
that
this
Canadian
isn't-
island they always go to.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. But
So
I
they
think
go
the new-
farther up where it gets more chaotic in
Yeah.
the latest one.
Yeah.
Good gosh, man! When is someone's gonna die at some point, right? It's just gonna be
I
we're
mean, a
doing
guy
the,
nearly got attacked by a
alone on
bear.
the North Pole.
I don't know they televise that.
You wouldn't be very alone either if you did it all at the North Pole. You'd be
And
like,
the-
"Hey, well, I'm not alone because he's right there."
But I
The other
think
guy would be like,
in the Arctic Circle,
hey.
they're all 10 miles apart, is what they said at the beginning of it. I haven't
That's
started this
wild,
season,
man.
but I heard some stuff being talked about.
"Why don't they do it
all
out in
10
the
miles
desert?"
apart. I've wondered that. Like, why
like it's
doesn't
always
why
tropical
doesn't
or crazy
Survivor?
cold.
Why don't they leave the islands and go somewhere where it's cold?
Yeah,
Why don't they go to Patagonia like that one year Alive
Yeah.
or Alone?
or Burger's Lake.
That'd be weird.
Burgers
Do
Lake.
you know that if you're
Wait.
at the North Pole, no matter what direction you walk, you're going south?
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah. What if
it is true.
you go? What if they did Survivor Lake Worth Goat Island,
I'd be in.
Goatman's Island?
And you and I are the host.
We
We're the
could do
one.
it.
We have to do all the like
That's our new
build
show.
up the
That's our
intensity.
show. We
That
were
is our
talking about
show.
something.
We got it. Now we just gotta talk Tyler into letting us use her bar for
Just
all
gotta
of
pitch
it.
it.
Yeah, we're gonna pitch it, and we're gonna do it in Lake Worth, and it's all gonna be local musicians
you
fighting
better-
it out.
You better circle
On Goatman's
circle
Island?
C. You better circle C it right
oh,
now.
we're circle seeing it.
Right now.
No one else has enough power to take that away from us.
Imagine the drama we would build up.
Yeah.
I think he just said the N word over there. Dun dun dun. Some guy just gets
Your
decked.
tribe has spoken.
Have you seen Smiling Friends?
I don't know. What's Smiling Fence?
Oh, it's
Friends.
so good. It's an Australian like Adult Swim
Oh,
cartoon.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that.
Very good. They have a bit where they're all in Halloween and this actual demon comes in and then people are like, dude, is he doing blackface? And they all jump this actual demon.
That sounds racist.
He's like, no, it's not blackface. I swear.
You called me the racist when you were 3.
I'm just a demon, I swear. And then they all like,
I mean,
let's jump him. He's doing blackface.
is Darth Vader blackface?
Right. They don't jump him because he's a demon. They
No,
jump
they
him
jumped
because
him.
he's offensive.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You know what I've been hitting hard too on TV is Portlandia. I started because they're doing a marathon on like one of the channels that I get streamed with YouTube,
Yeah.
and man, that show is so great.
It's silly.
The cult out with Sudeikis,
Yeah.
dude. Sudeikis, man, he's a great actor. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He's not a one-trick pony. He can do all kinds of funny, and I know some of his roles are very similar, but he can do anything.
I
He
get,
shows up in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of callback to We Are the Millers, like in my
I know.
life, the
It's
last
good,
2 weeks.
Though. We Are the Miller stands up.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Well, if you watch the first episode of this season of The Bear,
Jeremy Allen.
Oh,
White.
I've got a hot sports
Um,
opinion on the bear.
the young kid that gets bitten on the balls by the spider,
Yeah,
and We Are the Millers,
he's one
he's
of
in
the-
there.
Yeah,
He's
over
one of the cooks. Yeah,
in
The one with the-
Holland, was it?
The one
I
with
thought
all
that
the
was a New York
freckles?
one. Was that?
Oh, was it?
I don't know.
He okay. So
I get them all
I
mixed
gotta
up.
tell you something, man. So how far are you caught up and
No.
everything? And where are you at in
The first
Bear?
episode. I just wanted to watch
So-
that first episode because I heard
It's
about it because being a Nine Inch Nails fan, I heard about it,
Yeah.
and I was like, "There's no way it's the
Well-
entire episode is one Nine Inch Nails track."
So I'll go ahead and,
And it is.
spoil it for you. They're all heavily music based,
They've always been.
as they always have been. But man, kind of getting boring. It's like this. It's kind of like, dude, come on, let's freaking move along. It's like I think we're right at the cusp of where things are about to start changing more positively for everyone.
Yeah.
But they're just stuck in the mud of these stupid fights, and it almost gets old after a while. You're like, dude, come on. We don't have to stop down for another fight between you and your cousin for a whole episode, and you have to have an anxiety attack again, and we got to relive all this stuff. It's just like, dude, I just find it starting to get a little monotonous. That's a nice way of saying it.
Do you watch The Bear?
I do not.
Okay. Do you watch any medical
Get the
shows
fuck off my
since you're in the
Xbox.
medical field, or does that drive you crazy?
It drives me crazy
Yeah.
because they're usually inaccurate. And now Scrubs, I thought was pretty cool back
Well,
in the
I
day.
Scrubs
love
is fun.
Scrubs is amazing.
Scrubs is
Scrubs
awesome,
was cool.
man.
Did you ever
But-
watch Children's Hospital?
But no, but you
Yeah.
know, I tried watching
I
Grey's
did a little
Anatomy.
bit.
I tried watching Chicago Hope back in the day.
ER was good.
ER got a little off of like who are your medical advisors
Yeah.
that are they're doing ER thoracotomies and no
Okay.
blood anywhere. And I've done
What
an ER
about
thoracotomy.
Empire
and
Strikes
there's
Back?
blood everywhere.
Empire Strikes Back. Luke's surgery. How accurate?
That yeah, we do those now.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Bionic.
This is
I
the
want
way.
a bionic limb.
Yeah, I mean,
This is
you're
the
talking
way.
old technology, $6 million man stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but no, it's hard for me to watch medical stuff because I do it all. I do it all week long, and I don't want to like go home and
Yeah.
see that
right there.
stuff. So,
It's true.
Yeah,
I
it would
spend
get old.
my time doing music. But if I'm going to watch something, I'm usually either watching sports. I was a big fan of South Park for a while. I was into The Boys, and then the last show that I binge watched was Fallout. I don't know if you
Oh,
guys
What
saw
you? I
that.
saw it.
I didn't finish it.
You didn't finish it?
It was.
So they
it
got
was-
one series
I need
out.
to.
And I
I'm
played
gonna go back
the
to it.
video game back in the day.
I did
so
too.
So it's cool to see some of the similarities.
I started playing it again.
But I don't watch a ton of television other than that.
I wouldn't think you could, man. You got to probably always be studying and like looking at the latest technologies and how you're gonna fix some guy
Well,
that
you know,
jacked off too
watching
much.
YouTube to learn their surgeries for the next day.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Seriously?
Hey Siri.
No.
Hey Siri, how to
No.
fix tendonitis
Yeah.
on a 13-year-old boy?
YouTube, carpal tunnel syndrome.
Oh, here Siri's
Oh,
telling
here we
us.
go.
Okay, there you go.
That's where you make the cut.
Cut into that tube right there, and
She was looking it all up for us.
Yeah.
that's yeah, I can see that.
I would, yeah.
But yeah,
That's pretty
like
high
I did
stress.
I did 3 surgeries today, and then one of the other doctor things that I do is I'm a manuscript reviewer for the Journal of Hand Surgery, which is our flagship
Nice.
journal. So new research gets sent in. I have to review the manuscripts to decide if the science is good enough to publish. And I'm not the only one that decide. Other people decide too, but I have to write out my critiques of this. And sometimes I'll see some crazy stuff where the science just doesn't make sense.
Do you ever? That's what. Okay, so I got questions now. You've the fact that you're a hand doctor. I was like, oh, I got some
Is
questions
4th
here.
of July like a bad season for you because
gotta
everyone's
be.
holding like fireworks and their fingers get
This
burned?
Firework
business
injuries are bad. When it ices over and everyone's falling down,
yeah,
breaking their
yeah.
wrists is
Mhm.
bad. And up north, when people use snowblower, we don't have that problem here. But up north, when they use snowblowers, that's bad. But down here, when gardening first starts and everyone gets out with their new power tools,
Like a hay baler.
And they're listening
People
to
getting,
our.
you know,
Music
there's always
to
someone
Motu.
getting
I-
caught in a hay baler,
Yeah, what about
mutilated.
not as often as you might
Didn't
think.
that cat that played in
Not a month goes
what's his
by where you
name?
don't
Hay
hear
baler
about someone
injuries
in
or
a-
not.
the dude
hay
from
baler.
Marvel, the crossbow dude, didn't like. What'd you think of all that?
When
His-
his own snowcat ran him over.
Yeah,
What's that guy's name?
I forgot, man. He's in one of the Born Supremacy or something like that too. I forgot his name, but anyway, his whole body was like they didn't think he was living
No.
at all. There was no way.
It smashed him into the snow.
That's beyond the scope of a hand surgeon.
Yeah.
But do you
true story,
ever-
one of the last
Jeremy ran
cases
it.
I did in training was a guy that got both his hands chopped off in a wood chopper.
Oh,
And
how'd he drive to the hospital?
Yeah.
and one hand was too gnarled to do anything with. But anyway, long story short, we ended up replanting his right hand onto his left arm.
Do
'Cause
you
we had to save something.
So is his thumb backwards?
yeah, you know how they do that.
Now it didn't work that well.
Oh, okay.
If someone made
Did
a
he live?
request and had
But-
the money, if they wanted all thumbs just to be a joke, look, I'm all thumbs. Could you do that? Sign me up.
But
That's my-
mechanically, yes. Would that ever happen?
No.
No.
All right, so I want to go back to the publication or the stuff that you work was it
Literature.
literature, the journals and stuff that you review, right?
Yeah.
So have you ever read one? You said some of them is pretty off. Have you ever just been like, these guys were on mushrooms or something when they wrote this? Like, this makes absolute zero sense.
Well, I'll see stuff where they do this study and then they come to these crazy conclusions that's not supported. So I'm not going to go into a bunch of technical hand stuff that you won't understand. But let's say I saw a study and it said, all right, we did a biopsy of Donald Trump's head and we found hair follicles. And then we did a biopsy of Joe Biden's head and we found hair follicles. Therefore, we conclude they have the same hairdo. Or they'll conclude,
I'm not even a
or they'll
doctor.
do a
man,
study
'cause I'd
like
be
that.
that's
They'll
bullshit.
conclude Taylor Swift is the greatest pop star. I'm like, this has nothing to do with anything
Oh.
that you studied.
T Swift gets thrown into some of them.
No, he's.
No, it's
Uh-oh.
it's a metaphor.
I'm kidding.
But okay, I'll say yes. I'll say yes. We see Taylor Swift research all the time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I have a question coming in on the phone.
Oh, phone
OTP.
question.
A phone question. It says, do you do sports medicine hand surgery? That's
Yeah.
like a sports injury, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if it's an injury to the hand, regardless of the cause,
How many guitar players do you see a month?
I see a lot of musicians.
Yeah, just
at
in
all
general.
levels.
Carpal tunnel.
Everything from carpal tunnel to tendonitis to aggravation of their arthritis for the older ones. Trigger fingers, I see a lot of, which are where your tendons catch. There's a thing called de Quervain's tendonitis, where the thumb side of your wrist starts hurting real bad, and that's a specific thing. And then, I see people that twist their wrists and have sports injuries. And I'll do arthroscopy.
What about the video gamers? Do they come in like, I play too much video games, man?
Oh, yeah.
Controller hands.
Yeah, controller hands.
Is that a symptom or a
well, it's more their
cause?
thumbs. Like they get tendonitis and overuse of their thumbs.
That's why we need
Same with
9
people
more.
that do a ton of texting. And phone stuff.
Uh-oh.
So we've seen a little bit more of that, with again gamers and just cell phone use.
I went through carpal tunnel years ago because I was playing heavily, a lot, and doing a lot of computer work at the same time, and they put me in those braces that made me do all this for a while.
Yeah.
To try to straighten it all out before cutting on me, and it worked.
Did it?
Yeah. Every once in a while I get some flare up, but it's not
Did you get
bad.
cut on?
No.
Okay.
They were trying to keep.
Did they do any shots, injections?
A couple of shots, yeah.
Okay.
When
I
doing
have
that, yeah.
I had an old coworker. She used to get like this weird bump on her wrist all the time, and she would like make it go down when she like slammed a book on it.
Yeah,
What is
I
this?
actually took one of those out of
that
a
a
patient
cyst?
today. It's called a ganglion cyst.
Ew.
And in the old days, they called it a Bible cyst because they would take the Bible,
Bible.
because that was the biggest book in the house, and smash it. The
Is that-
thing is
Is
that
that
it would
medically recommended?
No, it's not.
Oh.
But and the reason is twofold. One, you can injure something else, and two, you
This
can
makes me
smash it
uncomfortable.
and deflate it temporarily, but it's still in there, and more times than not, it comes back.
Dude,
So
how
the
bad does
recurrence
that
rate's very
smell
high.
when you have to do that for those type of surgeries and leak that stuff out? Is that just gnarly?
Well, he has a
Smell?
mask.
No.
You have a mask on, right? Like when you scrub
One,
in to
the
do
mask doesn't
surgeries.
matter. Two, that stuff doesn't smell. But if
Oh.
you're draining a big pus-filled abscess, that
Yeah.
could stink.
Yeah,
That's
man.
disgusting.
And the mask doesn't stop that smell.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would draw faces on it before she smushed in. She'd be like, "Say bye to this guy. We're gonna kill him right now."
What about sprouting the parts? What do you think about that? This medical technology of sprouting things and stuff. Are y'all going to be doing that pretty soon, you think? Or are you already doing it?
Or 3D printing.
Yeah, there you go. 3D
Oh.
3D
printing.
printing stuff. Yeah, that may be a little more in the future.
Well, I've heard there's other countries that are trying to do that, 3D print parts,
Yeah.
or areas where they
Yeah,
can
they're
graft
prostheses.
How
skin and stuff.
convenient
Yeah.
that would
and
be.
stuff to, because, I mean, even now, if you amputate your hand, you can get a hook.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
And they're trying to design parts that are more functional depending on the shape. And of course, 3D printing is part of that, and computer programming. And I'm sure AI will get involved eventually, if not already, on an experimental stage. But as far as run of the mill, mainstream practice of medicine, that stuff's not really
Not there
out
yet.
yet. No, not quite.
How far away do you think we are, man? Doctor?
I don't know. I can't answer that because we'll have some breakthrough and then all of a sudden it's there.
Yeah.
Versus something that may take years of research to
I
fully
think-
develop.
What is it? Dvorak that always says from the No Agenda show, it's always saying the last 5% or the last 3% of technology is always the longest hiccup and the most trial and error time when you it gets the most difficult to make progress, that last 3%.
Who said that?
John C. Dvorak. He's another podcast.
How
True.
much plastic surgery do you do? Do you do any of it?
Isn't that more
with hand
cosmetic?
stuff?
Yeah, I don't really do cosmetic surgery.
Okay.
However, I incorporate part of my training involved plastic surgery, so I incorporate plastic surgery techniques to do the smallest scars, smoothest scars possible, and just make things look as normal as possible.
So you do like skin grafts and stuff.
When my
Okay.
son lost the tip of his pinky, we went to a plastic surgeon. They suggested going there.
Uh-huh.
And it was, working on it, trying to get it to reattach and to hopefully regrow, and it never did. Turned into a nice black little ball that we had to get cut off, so now he can only count to 9.5.
That unfortunately, with single-digit amputations now, that happens a lot, and so as you probably learned firsthand, there's so much effort and expense and time and risk involved in trying to save a little finger that they've realized it's not really worth it. And that most of those patients come to amputation, or even if it survives, it doesn't really feel the same. It doesn't move the same. It doesn't tolerate cold very well because the blood flow is kind of jacked up. And in the end, the patients are like, meh, I don't know if this was worth it. And so the indications for replanting things are a lot narrower than what they were 30 years ago.
Yeah, I don't give rebates if it didn't work out, right? You're like, okay,
right.
You can't show back up with your receipt and go, this didn't work. I want a refund.
Now, we can take your big toe and put it up where your thumb used to be. That still goes on.
That's funny because
does it really?
It does.
People put their toes on their thumbs.
If
like
you lose a thumb,
you go for the toe.
Then they can take your big toe off of your foot and then transplant it to your hand. So now you have what they call a toe thumb.
There was a guy that used to work at Seth cabinet shop that had that.
Really?
Lost his thumb and they took his toe off.
I just want the technology to be there to where when I mow
Google
my
that.
own yard and I'm listening to music to mow to and run over my foot, I can just go to the 3D printer and just print another one up and hook it right back on. Are we close to that?
No.
Like when that like Star Trek where you put your foot under something and it scans it back on there and builds it back out. We need that.
Are you scared of
we do
droids
need that.
taking your jobs?
Of
Ever?
what?
Are you scared of droids ever taking y'all's jobs as a hand?
Not in the immediate
fixer-upper?
future.
Yeah.
They've been testing that though.
They have.
Doing operations with AI and robots and stuff. And that
Well, they have
creeps me
robots
out.
doing general surgery and OBGYN surgery.
Wow.
And robot assisted, even like brain surgery, I think.
Isn't Elon about to do
stereotactic.
the droid assistants like robots? Tesla's about to start making them personal assistants or something.
Well, he's
like
already
that?
got a bunch running around the factory in Austin working on things. So
I think he's about to retail them though.
Well, don't the
He has-
Chinese have dogs with machine guns on them now?
and a flamethrower.
What?
You can order one with a flamethrower.
I thought that was all up there in Boston, and they were just messing with everybody. The
backflips.
Chinese are really
No.
using dogs with machine guns.
robot
on 'em?
dogs with machine guns, and then AI that's eventually going to figure out that humans are a threat. What could go wrong?
I've seen it.
As
Skynet.
my brother said one time.
I've seen it on Sky. I've seen it. Skynet. I know exactly what's going to go wrong.
Terminator.
Terminator.
For $4,000, you can buy the flaming. I've sent you the flamethrower robot. I was like, we can go clear some land out with this.
We should take that. Imagine people out in
until it
Arkansas
decides
seeing
that
that.
you're the threat.
Yeah, it's like I'll wait till you're
That's
sleeping in your
scary,
tent
man.
and turn on you. And
Yep.
I don't think it has AI in it. I think it's just a remote controlled dog that walks and
So you can actually flip it off.
yeah. Yeah, you can actually.
Turn it
I don't
off,
think it has its
power
own.
it down.
Control.
That's
Alt,
probably
control,
a good
delete.
fail-safe mechanism right there.
I just take the
Yeah.
batteries out of the controller and then put them back in.
There's got to be an off switch somewhere.
Control Alt Delete.
So when you're
And-
not cutting people up and repairing, digits and appendages and all that, you play in a band.
I do play in a band.
Yep.
Write and record the music for the band as well. And
Y'all still a 3-piece?
we're still a 3-piece when we play live. Obviously, we overdub a bunch of stuff when we're in the studio. We have an album, a 10-song album out that came out last year, was nominated for Album of the Year in Fort Worth Weekly, didn't win. Freaking Matt Tedder. Anyway,
Fucking Tedder.
Well, that's you got to pay them off a little more.
maybe
It's
I
a
don't
Fort
know.
Worth- You got to pat. their
But we
pockets.
were in the conversation, which was very cool because we're
Yeah.
relatively new on the Fort Worth music scene. We've only been around really in the current form about 2.5 years. And a lot of these bands have been around, before COVID, 10, 15 years. So the fact that we were in the conversation is cool. We've enjoyed a ton of radio play on our stuff. I mean, I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying this because this is possible in the Fort Worth music community, is that the 10 songs that are on the album, every single one has been played on at least one radio station at some point.
Heck
And
yeah.
several of them are still in rotation. The one you played at the beginning of the show, Rocket and Flight, was actually played on KTCU this morning. And,
Awesome. The
so
Frogs.
I'll spot check playlists occasionally.
The Horned Frogs.
And
TCU?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
and we've released 3 singles since the album. All of those have been played on the radio. Those I recorded with a guy named Todd Pipes.
You
who,
get paid for that?
I think you get
You don't
a
know?
little bit. Well, they pay you through your performance rights organization, and
Oh.
I'm a member of
Who you're
ASCAP.
signed through?
Yeah, and so
Okay.
every quarter I'll get $3 or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The checks are amazing.
So I am a
ASCAP
professional
checks are great.
songwriter, I guess. But we recorded the last 3 songs with a guy named Todd Pipes. If you don't know who that is, he's the singer for Deep Blue Something that sang that 90s hit Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Did you record it at his place in Colleyville?
I did.
Yeah.
And I was actually in between bass players at that time. He plays bass on them and sings backup.
Oh, nice.
So that was cool of him to do that.
Todd's a cool dude. I've recorded with him.
And then, since then we've been working with guys like Joe Tacky and Peter Waringa on some new stuff.
Those two are spare.
Joe, you got to watch that guy.
Don't you?
And Peter.
Yeah.
Gotta watch
Yeah.
them both.
Yeah.
They're shifty.
He's
Really? All right, that's good. That's good to know.
No,
they got that nasty gambling
But
addiction.
you've been recording with it, and they're you
gotta look out for guys coming around the studio busting kneecaps over there.
yeah they got tabs with the mob.
Yeah.
You gotta pay off and everything.
They send in Jeffrey Lord. He's like, you hadn't paid Joe Tucky.
Jeffrey Lord's
he's the knee knocker.
He's the heat.
He's the heavy.
He's the heavy that comes in.
I'm gonna say this. I don't know if this is a racial slur or not. Goon.
No, Goon's okay.
Okay, yeah, he's the
Yeah,
goon. Yeah, Jeffrey's the goon.
Because there's goons in hockey too.
Because Goonies.
That's right.
Yeah, and there's Goonies.
I love Goonies.
I'd like to
It
see.
really depends on the context, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you have to
okay.
use it in the right
But you've
way.
been recording with Joe for a little bit now, right? On a new release. It's coming out.
We've got 3 songs or 4 songs. Man, they all run together. We've worked with him on. We're doing a cut. We recorded a cover of the Rolling Stones' "Sympathy for the Devil," which we played live, which is very popular. We now have a recorded version. None of these are
Nice.
released. 2 other songs, including a good Irish sounding drinking song, and then we're in the process of doing a
we
song
hear
that
that
I'm
one?
collaborating with. It's Ernie. He's going to rap on it.
Nice.
And so it's kind of a combo hip hop rock thing that we're going to try to do a throwback like to the old 90s hip hop, like Bust a Move and Salt and Pepper kind of.
Young
vibe.
MC. You're
Wow.
gonna do Young MC.
Young MC. You know, or can't touch this.
Bust a move.
When did we go see them? Like 6
They-
months ago? Or a
Yeah, they
year
always
ago?
go up to the casinos up
No,
there,
wait.
man, and freaking.
I covered that show. We are the '90s with Vanilla Ice.
Oh
Young
yeah,
MC.
I thought that was where I saw that show. Biz Marquee was on it, and it was Vanilla Ice, and that was up, I think, at Windstar when I first saw him.
This was over at Toyota Music Factory, and I can't remember who else was on it.
It was right before he died. Biz Marquee.
that one band. They had.
Tone Loc
Like
goes in.
Vanilla Ice
I think
recently?
Tone Loc still
Yeah.
does it. Yeah, Vanilla
Dude,
Ice is
and
still
it-
badass.
The place went nuts.
Yeah, they love
for
him.
him, and he drug like at least 100 women on stage with him
Yeah,
from the crowd. To
that's what he
dance and
did.
do stuff.
That's what he
yeah.
did up in
It's funny how he is
Oklahoma
now
too.
because he made a cameo in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which my
Go
brother
ninja,
actually
go
did it.
ninja,
So
go.
my brother has stories about him on set and stuff, but that was when he was younger and
Remember when
thought
he
it was
used to
hot
always show up
shit.
at the Bronco Bowl when Seven Dust would play, and we'd all be hanging out by the bus with radio people, and freaking there's Vanilla Ice just
He'd
hanging
show
out.
up everywhere
Yeah.
in weird places.
He's
too.
like
he's
he's a
gotten-
fan of the metal too.
Yeah.
He liked
he's
liked
he's
local
humbled
metal.
out since those early days, from what I understand. So.
we had his
He got
nephew
dangled
in.
outside of a hotel room. That'll do it to you, right?
Yeah, true.
Suge
When you-
Knight, right?
when-
Didn't he do that?
Yeah, hung him out.
That'll mellow you out.
I was trying to remember. We had his nephew in too, and I forgot what band his nephew was in.
Oh yeah.
Who was
Oh,
telling
man,
us
I
all
have no
sorts of crazy
idea.
stories about him too. It was good times.
Yeah.
Fun times. Fun times. Well, that'll be cool. Spitting that out. I'm interested in the recorded version of Sympathy for the Devil and how crazy you got.
Yeah, that'll be
Did
cool.
you go crazy?
I think it's badass sounding, but
Yeah. That's an awesome song.
It starts low and it just builds with each verse, until it just goes nuts at the end, which is cool.
That song's awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to release it. So
Yeah.
get all that done.
What'd you do this weekend, Dustin? Did you go to a Lamb of God show?
Yeah, we did, didn't we, on Friday night?
We did.
Way to bring that up. Wow.
Yeah.
King of the Segway here.
Yeah.
I went to a Mastodon show that Lamb of God happened to be playing.
Yeah, that was last
in
minute,
Carrie
wasn't it?
King. Yes. Got all that approval going down. We were
Wednesday
trying to
night we found out.
I think so, yeah.
You said this was
Thursday.
kind of up in the air too for a while. We were in limbo.
Well, it was the tour opener, and there were a bunch of people from around the country that wanted to come in to cover this show, and then they decided, no, we're not going to worry about that.
I think I was playing F1.
What do y'all even do there?
We watch music.
And you
we go to
write
concert.
articles?
I take pictures.
And you guys didn't take me to that one Deftones concert that happened a couple years back?
Well,
Didn't
we
know
were
you wanted to
studying
go.
Fuck
for
all of y'all for that one?
man. You're in the realm of your father.
I didn't know you wanted to go, but
I literally told you.
You need to tell him.
No, I think she's confusing Crosses. Crosses is what she wanted to go to, wasn't it?
No, it was like.
Because there hasn't been a Deftones show.
Yes, there has in
since
DFW.
Gojira.
Like, yeah.
That
2
was
years ago.
2 years ago,
Oh,
my junior year
that's
of high school, all my friends went. They're like, "Yeah, we're up here." Oh,
Man, she
no."
holds a grudge for a while.
Yeah, I was so
It-
mad.
actually, that was an
That
awesome
show
show
was
because of the
awesome.
lighting. Remember?
Yeah, the guy.
There
I
was
forgot
like
his name. I got to
yeah,
go look his name
yeah.
up. But yeah, I was going back and forth with
Guess
him
I
after
screwed
that.
that one
Yeah,
up.
that was nice. All my friends were sending me pictures, and I was like, "Yeah, that sounds so fun." My dad's there.
Yeah,
That was
this
a good
show.
Not me.
Let's talk about this a little bit because it's the first time I've been to Verizon or Nokia or now Texas Trust CU Theater and
Yeah, it's
whatever
so confusing.
in years. The last time I
too.
was there,
Me as well.
I think it was the Bernie Sanders rally I shot.
I think for me it was right around there, and it was that Dillinger Deftones show.
Yeah, bring up Deftones
Sorry.
again so you get mad.
And
trigger
Dillinger.
warning.
But yeah, that was right around there. And then before that was the last show I shot was Queens of the Stone Age there.
And I was out of town on that.
And then there was the 2-night Tool weird, like we're only playing Cram Prairie for some reason.
That was
that
another
was
one of
weird.
those shows that, if you remember the tour, it was at the very beginning of it. They had played like out in L.A. and I think they stopped in Vegas or something or Arizona and then played here. And remember you and I were like, they're humans. Like they actually screw
That's
up because they
was
screwed up a
screw up
couple
ones.
times. And they had that drummer come out from, was it a local band or the opener?
I mean, I
And
think
he
it was the
jammed
opener,
with them?
yeah.
That was cool.
But that venue is needs to be used more. There needs to be more
I'd
cool
enjoyed that
ass
show.
shows
Yeah, that
because
was
it was
cool.
good. Everybody in there was freaking nice.
Yeah.
Security was nice. Everybody
Yeah.
was cool. The setup for the photo pit was pretty good.
Very nice hospital people.
Yeah.
As far as
Hospitable.
hospitable, and also the other thing.
It was
that
a good
really,
show.
Another thing that was really nice was the just the whole layout, like the atmosphere that they had was more of kind of like, you know how I talked to you about Rock Live or Texas Live.
Yeah.
And the stadium, when you go to the stadium, it's their security feels like they're actually there trying to help you out. Like, oh hell, let me help you guys out. Like, because
Yeah.
they've helped me out with my dad, going to seats and stuff like that. And that's kind of the attitude that whole park out there. Because we saw several different parks. One was one of those baseball games they play in India. What you call them?
Cricket.
Yeah, they were partying.
The cricket,
Dude.
The cricket's right across the street from the Verizon Theater. They took the old Air Hog Stadium and now made it a cricket stadium, and that place was out of
packed.
control.
Shooting fireworks.
Yeah,
The food.
we walk out. and
We were
there's
seriously
fireworks
about to
going
pull
nuts.
in there, and it was late. But there were still people showing up, and I was like, "Should we go in there and eat, man?"
It looked like
It's
a
like
party
Prairie.
over there.
Grand
Yeah.
Prairie you're talking about,
Grand
right?
Prairie. But the whole night was perfect, and the bands. Let's get into some of that stuff. These were two special bands for us.
So opened up
everybody
was
special
Maleviance
from the UK.
and well, all right.
I enjoyed them. Did you know they've been around since 2010?
Yeah, and I forgot that they had opened up a bunch of other shows too.
That we had seen. We just never remembered.
Yeah, just forgot all about them.
That's because we were unwoke back then.
Then came up Kerry King
Yes.
with his all-star band, which Kerry King is, if you don't know who he is, he's the legendary guitarist for Slayer. And
They played a Slayer song.
Rip Through It, they did. They played Raining Blood.
I didn't think that would happen. Did you?
I didn't think it. I wasn't expecting it either. And it was funny because you and I were like, let's walk out here and see what's going on out here by the merch stand or whatever, and then all of a sudden, dun 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 dun. It's like, are they really playing this?
You know what? I
Dun, dun,
bet.
dun.
I bet you the because the guys, everybody in the band are all stars.
Yeah.
And so I bet they were like, what if the album, the EP, or it's a full length album actually. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What if we're not ready to play those songs live? Because you know how those guys are. One of our best friends is always going here, going there, and it's hard for these guys to get together sometimes and jam. And I bet they're like, we all know Rain and Blood, and it is his song. So maybe we just keep that in our back pocket, and they played it.
They ripped
That was
it out.
awesome.
Yeah. It was great for, who knows if they'll do it the rest of the tour. I haven't looked, but yeah, that was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And so they played a pretty badass set. Then came Mastodon, which the reason for this show was it's the 20th anniversary of the release of Leviathan and of Lamb of God's Ashes of the Wake. So it's called the Ashes of Leviathan Tour.
Which released
on the exact same day. Both those records are released on the exact same day.
You think some of those guys are
25 years
Eskimo
ago?
brothers?
20 years.
20 years ago.
Yeah.
You think some of those guys are Eskimo brothers?
Brand kind of led to it in his little speech that he gave. I
Oh, he
recorded
did?
the speech, but he was like,
He was like, yeah.
when I used to sleep on the studio, this band came in here, la la la.
Yeah.
They were all friends, but it was so they played through the Leviathan, and then they played. Was it 3 or 4 songs?
Yeah.
Spanning the catalog, the Mastodon
Yeah,
catalog.
they did one off of Blood Mountain, and then they did one off the latest, that
Hush and
huge
Grim.
dumpster song, like a dump truck song, just dum dum dum. Dum.
One of my favorite songs released lately.
That's my favorite song that
song
they've
is
done in the
freaking
last
bad.
like 5 years for sure.
God, what is it called?
We sound like we really like Mastodon.
We do. And then
It's a really nice song. I really like that song.
Ew.
The way they play that.
It's got a weird name.
PB.
That's why I can't
This is
remember
our
it.
what do we call this mode? Yeah, that's a really neat song.
NPR
It's
mode.
NPR mode.
Musical interpreter.
More than I could chew.
Yeah,
They
that's
played
it.
more than I could chew. And then, so after they ripped through their set, which was freaking fantastic, an hour long,
Yeah.
wasn't it? About
Yeah, they played
because
for a
they
minute.
played the whole record and everything. First time I haven't seen them play Blood and Thunder because it was the first song, and
y'all were getting ready.
photographers weren't allowed in the photo pit during the first song because they did a curtain drop in
They want you to get your noggin.
Cairo.
Yeah.
And the Cairo was all up along the
Cairo?
stage. Yeah. Frozen Air.
Oh yeah. They used Cairo.
Yeah, they had a bunch set up.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
But that was the way they started. They nailed it too. Like I thought they.
I
But
was
the thing
standing
is,
at the door listening, going, "Oh my god!" And then I kind of was like, "Holy shit!"
that's the thing though. That's what I was saying in my article was the fact that I've seen these guys play these songs before, and they always nail them. And I think that's the secret. Is as a band, they're one of those bands that will play. They'll cycle through their songs. So if they're ever called to play, they'd make a decision on stage probably. But like now, you had this unique opportunity where they didn't probably have to rehearse much because they'd been jamming those songs throughout the years, a few here and a few there.
Yeah, I've heard this album. Out of all the times we've seen them, we've heard this album
Yeah, we have.
because they always play 1 or 2 songs off.
But
of
front
it.
to back.
But front to back. Is
Oh,
awesome.
it's so good.
And they, even ripping through, is it Aqua Dementia? The instrumental?
That real long one.
Long one. It was great. The visuals were great. LED screens, out of control. Everybody's doing this now, but where it's multi-tiered, multi-level, and everything looks 3-dimensional coming at you. They had it set
That's
up
what
really
we're gonna
good.
do for Stink.
And
gonna cost.
visually it was fantastic. And then Lamb of God came out and was like, "Nope, we're
Good
just
gosh.
stripping everything down and we're going full on metal," and ripped through Ashes of Leviathan. Or, Ashes
It
of
reminded
Void.
me of seeing a metal show at like Fair Park Coliseum.
Yeah,
Like
just
it was
old school, regular lighting. We're
slaying
just
it.
ripping through this.
And Randy Blythe, he's been around for a while. Like he's known a lot of our friends in music that go back and forth from Austin and stuff because we know some guys that jam with the first singer of Mastodon, Gary, down in Austin. I don't know if he still lives there or not. He might be back in Atlanta. But anyway, Randy he's the real deal, man. Like there's times where he has annoyed the crap out of me, but ever since he got sober, I feel like, and he went through that thing in the prison overseas, like
he spent some time in the gulag.
right, the real deal. Am I ever going to see my mama field?
Yeah,
Gulag.
yeah. He may not. There were talks that he wasn't going to make it back to the States
Yes.
for a while. Because
And it was a tragic thing that happened that he was already upset about.
Yeah.
I guess a fan fell and broke their neck, or was it?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Something.
At one of their shows, and
the family tried.
It was in one of those countries where the band gets charged for anything that happens at their shows.
Oh yeah, that's right. It wasn't the family necessarily. It was the government.
The government
that was doing it.
And so they, it turned into a whole bunch of.
Now he's
BS.
like a Renaissance man.
And he's a badass photographer. If
I
you
would
follow
cross
him.
that
He's pretty
country
awesome.
off my tour.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was an East, an old Russian country, right?
I think it was.
Where's our fact checker at? Looking all this stuff up.
She's looking at
Where did
boys.
What am
Randy,
I? Boys.
go look where Randy
Looking at
Blythe.
women.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Who are
Okay.
you talking about?
Go look and see.
What country?
I mean, stop
Randy
the-
Blythe.
Pause the
Oh, yeah.
podcast.
I got all.
Have a concert.
I didn't know what to
where
think about that.
He got sent to jail because of a
Yeah.
Who?
tragedy.
Lamb of God and their fan that fell off stage.
Did I
it'll come up
send
pretty
you the
quick.
Lamb of God reel on Instagram?
Broken
but
neck.
It's the one where I'm underneath him.
oh yeah, yeah.
And I got the
So
picture.
I had a question for you that
Yeah.
I didn't bring up purposely on the way home because we were
Ooh.
freaked out about the show, and that's this. That dude came out on so much. He reminded me of like old school Phil. Remember when Phil would just come out some nights and act like his hair was on fire just from the get go and
Mhm.
keep that momentum the whole set? What was that like? Was he really that charged? Because you were right in his face. Was he? Could you tell he had
Yeah.
some adrenaline
No.
going, or was he just playing the role?
Him and the guitarist both.
It was
Yeah.
the Czech Republic? The Czech
It might
Republic?
have been Czech.
Yeah, it was in Czechoslovakia.
He was charged
He was
with-
in Prague.
He was charged
was-
with manslaughter.
Yeah,
the death
because
of a 19-year-old fan.
it,
allegedly pushing a 19-year-old fan off stage.
Oh, so they said that he pushed him off the
Causing-
Well,
stage.
see, the thing
Injury.
is, at metal shows, it's not so cut and dry because you got fans that come up to that will crawl up on the stage that you kind of balance yourself on at times, join in at times, and I never saw like all the big metal guys will get up there and say, let's fuck shit up, the stuff like that. But if every time I've seen Randy in a place where he thought someone's life was at danger or something, he's one of those cats that has always been like, whoa, 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 stop the show.
well, that's what happened last time I saw him.
Someone
No.
someone
That
was
was
a hard
the
lesson to
time
learn.
At,
when he was-
AAC, where they had what's his name filling in on guitar,
yeah,
and someone threw a beer up there and
he stopped
splashed
everything
him.
down.
And the guitarist started taking off his guitar and started jumping the crowd, and Randy ran over and grabbed him.
Yeah.
It was like, no, don't do that, don't. We're
Yeah.
cool, we're cool, we're cool. And then they just walked off stage because it was their last song. They were playing Redneck,
Yeah.
because I always close the show with Redneck.
It's a great song.
Yeah.
But that's what I wanted to know is, was it genuine energy? Because, like I said, you were right in his face. Was he pumped full of adrenaline? Was it a
Oh,
big night
yeah.
for him, you think?
They were, and him and the guitarist were watching us,
Yeah.
and they knew where we were, and
They were giving it to
he
you.
did that for us.
That's awesome.
But I just happened to be there, and he came running up, and he was the way that they had a bunch of monitors in front of the stage that they could walk out on, and we could walk in between. And I was walking in between, and he walked out and was just standing there, and then
That's
bent
cool.
down everything, and I was just shooting as much as I
He's
could.
a great
and-
front man.
Yeah.
He's a great front man, and he's always
good.
been in the scene, the metal scene. Like he's been in the punk scene because of that whole Washington D.C. stuff that he was into, and all the Bad Brains and all those cool ass old school kind of punk thrash sound up there. And he's just, man, he's good for metal. That was a good for metal night.
Mm-hmm. And if you go look at his Instagram,
Did he post some of them?
there's nothing about his band on there.
Dang.
Oh, really? It's all his photos.
It's all his photography and stuff.
Huh.
And he had a big exhibit, like in Philadelphia or New York, or
like a
something
residency for a while.
Like he had a big exhibit of all his photo stuff. They blew him up real big and
Yeah.
everything. And it's It was
Mm.
pretty
All the
cool.
stuff that I'd seen him shot was he did. I think didn't he start that while he was going to court and stuff and dealing with. He did a lot of stuff out there, and those pictures are awesome that he took overseas.
Yeah.
And then
Well, that's what I liked
I've seen
about
his
it.
surf stuff too, and the surf stuff's really good too. But yeah, it was a special night of metal.
If
And
you want to
also-
see the, there's a documentary about everything he went through in Prague. It's called As the Palace Burned, just like
That's
the
good,
album.
too. That's a
but
good
it's
documentary.
It's documentary, and it shows that it's on. You can just stream it on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's up there. So,
but that was a killer show, and we nailed it, dude.
It
We
was
had
great.
a
That's
hard
fun.
deadline, and we
we
nailed
hit it,
man.
and they ran with them, and they were posted all over the world.
Yeah, and I think during the set, I text you, I'm going to need that picture. I'm going to need a copy of that one.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it. I need to make an order, and that one's gonna be pretty big.
I like how he cut his hair, too, back to the way he wore his hair when that album came out. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but I
Well,
was like, man, it looks just like...
he
the-
shaved all his dreads off years ago.
Yeah.
But he's been running around
Like
shaved
that for a
head
while?
For a while, yeah.
But the top that he had, because he had kind of the... What was it? When everybody was wearing the Hitlers for a while, that's what it looked like he had kind of going. And whenever he'd sweat, it would just fall down, and immediately that's what would happen back in those days, and that's what it reminded me of. It's like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I remember
Alright.
when he looked like that a lot. All the soccer players were wearing their hair like that. I think Dustin wore it,
I did.
and we did
for
mullet,
a little bit.
mullet
Yep.
with the
And I got a
the-
mullet.
the part,
And now I just shaved all my
the
hair
World
off.
War II. Sometimes, man, it's just
It got
especially
hot.
in the summer.
I shaved it all off. I'm all see.
Yeah,
Which
it's the summer. Gotta do
speaking
that.
of which, talking about hats. Take this one off for a second.
Uh-oh.
I gotta talk to the Texas Rangers, and I gotta talk to New Era because we're all friends.
Yes,
We're all friends here.
Uh-huh.
I don't know whose idea this was. Was it the Texas Rangers? Was it the New Era decided to come up with this design? But they came up with this weird retro font design for their hats.
Are you gonna unbox something?
And I saw that the Rangers put one out, and I was like, well, what does this look like? And when I saw it, I bought it. And I'm just going to put it on here.
New era.
It is a New Era hat.
And I'm just going to put it on.
Oh.
And y'all just tell me what y'all think of this font.
It's funny.
That's the new Rangers font?
Well, it is for this hat.
You got to look straight forward at it.
Yeah, it's like off-centered.
Yeah, let me
Well,
Like
turn,
you can't even
turn-
see Rangers. It's
I think
like
it's the letters
fingers.
Yeah.
that we're
Does
looking
it start
at.
on your right ear there?
It's like
It
on
starts
your
over here.
temple.
But if you just look at it dead on, what does it look like it's saying?
Oh, I see exactly what you're talking about.
And the way they advertised it on New Era was what was really
I'm gonna
crazy.
show the screen here.
Man, you got to go overseas to wear that hat.
Yeah, that's not. How did that get approved?
That's my question, and I've sat around and I've
Maybe
asked
your head's
everybody.
just severely deformed. It
No,
doesn't
no,
really
no.
this
go.
is something.
This is the way.
No,
I
those
mean,
are-
that's true.
Those are definitely
That is
the
true. His head is deformed.
5
but
letters in the front.
This is the advertisement.
5
idea.
letters in the front is right there.
It's the
That's what you
website
see.
link that is really shocking.
That's terrible.
That's what I was like, whoa.
Whoa!
And then you're like, I bought it.
Wow.
Well,
that's-
I bought it because if they're gonna pull it,
I can't find it.
you know, I have fallen into the
oh, that's gonna be $1,000 on
Yeah,
eBay
you
in
could
about.
sell
the
that.
I think
hat
so as
world.
well.
I have fallen into the hat world and seeing what old school like New Era hats that were a certain style that were they only released certain numbers of the style
Yeah.
and going and looking them up and seeing thousands of dollars they're worth.
Yeah, it's like the sneakers and the starter
Yeah.
jackets now.
Yeah.
All that vintage cool
That
90s
is-
shit.
That's going to be the controversy hat.
But my
That
question is,
Who thought that was a good idea?
who thought this was a good idea? As I pointed back to the chat room, and why couldn't you just put the RA and start it here at this panel and come this way
and have the same look.
and have the same look?
It's like they're leaving so much room for the red T, but it doesn't need room at all.
It doesn't need any room, and instead you have
A weird looking, awkward
Yeah, that
awkward.
from start
Maybe
to
it's
finish.
supposed to be
that
worn
des-
like
that was a
sideways, like
design
hip and
fail.
cool.
Did you look up the website yet? The link to it? Because even more shocking on the link. You're like,
I
what
can't
the
even
Oh, you
heck?
find
can
it.
still order that?
Yes.
I don't
I'm
know.
getting one right now.
Because
And I'm going to put it in a
it
safety
said it
deposit
was, yeah.
box.
It said they were running out, or they were getting down to do it.
Oh, it's selling out.
Yeah, it was
That's a
selling
hot
out.
item.
What is there?
The RNC
Is
knocked
there
them
a
they
name
out.
for that?
Pull it.
Oh, here it is.
Did you find it?
Did you hear my joke?
What's it called?
It's called
Yeah, there it is.
New Era Black Checkered.
I like the bill though.
Fitted
Underneath the
hat.
bill that it's checkered. That's
Why-
cool.
I dig the shit out of that.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And this is like their actual like.
Yeah, there you go. There's the.
Oh, it's $50.
Yeah, it's
It
not.
is, yeah, sorry, I spelled
It's
it.
awkward.
Okay.
Definitely don't wear that to Dante's house, man.
Well, I was gonna take a picture of it and send it to Dante and go. I got my new Rangers.
I got
hat
your
here."
Christmas present.
Well, I mean, if you look, though, other
Sorry,
teams are
Dante.
doing the same
I love
thing
you.
without the same
Passionately.
effect of those last 5 letters.
Well,
You can
yeah,
play
that's the
Call of
5
Duty
letters that you probably shouldn't be running
They
around
quote
with.
each other. Sorry, I'm giving Dante little
Like the Dodgers doesn't have that.
messages.
That's. Yeah, $50 for a career-ending hat.
So are we just are we surrendered to the fact that we're just gonna have to pay over $50 for hats now? Is that what we're doing?
Well,
because
this when I bought it was on sale.
well,
No.
Well,
but
for
got it for
limited
like out at the
edition,
stadium though, because I really like that All-Star hat that the Rangers put out. I thought all the teams put out. And there's a couple that I'm thinking about getting. Problem is they all any badass hats now, especially baseball, seems like it's $50 and up. I know I'm starting to sound my age here, but man,
Well,
50 for a hat,
I've dropped into
baseball hat.
since I've gotten into this whole new era kick, and I've ordered Formula One hats. I've ordered Ranger hats, some Cowboys hats. I get
A discount.
all
Like a
sorts
multi-
of like they send
frequent flyer
emails all the
discount?
time and they're like, hey, this one's cheaper, this one's cheaper, this one's on sale, or we just launched this one and this is going to be the price until it goes public.
Right.
You can buy it privately right now. They have the Flavor Town ones that are the collaboration with Guy Fieri.
I'm sorry.
Flavor Town,
Guy Fieri.
I know.
your boy.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
his
I know the
actual name.
hats too. I know the hats as well. I've seen them.
And then it's just I don't
Flavor
know.
Town.
I don't know. It's just that hat was just silly, and someone needs to rethink that. But yeah, I'm holding on to that one to see what happens to it. If the value goes up, may retire from it. You never know. But it's going to be hilarious when I wear it in the office tomorrow.
Oh man.
It's a Rangers hat.
Yeah, but you remember. I don't know if that's such a good idea, Dustin. Maybe
It's like
maybe not.
It's like wearing a Nazi thing and saying, no, it's a hieroglyphic sign for good luck.
It all
like,
depends
no,
on
it's
which
not.
way the points turn.
Honestly, guys, you're at you're at a Jewish synagogue. Honestly,
Hey,
it's just
yeah,
hieroglyphics.
I don't know what to do.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Don't they have to run that stuff by the Rangers before they release it? No one at the Rangers was like, that looks awkward. Don't do that.
They probably
'Cause-
just have the license and run with it.
Because
I mean,
they're
that's
still the
way-
ones that are holding out on the Pride events, right? It's not a good look for the Rangers, I'm saying. It's like, dude, come on.
Well,
You're
it's
the world
not
champs.
their fault that their name ends like that.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
The
There's
role
no
of the
approval.
font.
There's no approval that's sent
No.
over for proofing.
These companies that get the license for
They
different
just
things,
run with it.
they just run with whatever they make. I mean, when my sister was making all this stuff for Nintendo, she wasn't sending it to Japan for approval. They approved it in shop, and
It'd be
everybody
cool
looked
if
at it
she
and were
did.
like, "Here we go."
Then you
know?
could sell it for extra and like, this is Nintendo Japanese approved.
But don't they get like demos? Like they get a box of demos, and then someone
Yeah,
had to
they-
open that and be like, "Oh,
I just thought that there'd be more of a proofing system that
Put it
like
on the
where
shelves.
where if it's a major chain like Lids or something like that, that they have to get it approved by the actual Texas Rangers. But
I just ordered one.
See, there you go.
Free shipping.
They aren't. They aren't going to be.
Got it.
These aren't going to be in lids either because they're a special edition. They're only
it's like a
so many.
collector's.
And
I'm so going to sell this for $200 in about.
My main bitch though is
10
the hat
years.
prices. Inflation.
well, I mean,
My hat prices are not $20 anymore.
You can go get
the
you a Red Bull one right now for $27.
I would never wear red. Actually, I'm on Red Bull right now, so
why?"
because that's the way the game rolls sometimes.
I just left Aston Martin and went to McLaren.
I was trying to get a contract with those guys with a different, like I wanted to do Williams, or we're talking about games right
Oh,
now.
the F1 game.
F1 game.
Yeah.
And no one would accept me except Red Bull. I guess I'd pissed
You're
everybody
that
off.
good.
No. Or
No, it's because
what's your
I
value?
had just done my value is not high enough right now. It's only like a little bit over 2 million or something like that. And it's like I've got to work on my the research and development big time. I haven't been paying attention to that
Well,
until it's
that's
like
what
your
screws you over.
garage is mad at you. You better do something now. Warning comes on the game.
Yeah. They get pissed
And
off.
then I'm like, oh, sorry, guys. Oh, yeah, okay. We need to do development.
Okay, I gotta stop shopping for hats now.
Anyway, it's,
Sucked in.
I'm just saying,
already
it seems
shopped for
high to me
mine.
for the
I'm
prices.
going to get my NGERS hat.
Like
Oh my
Chuck
goodness.
Taylor's. Those are $70 now. Did you know that?
Yeah. The okay,
Certain versions
so
of 'em.
Nine Inch
20
Nails released
We used to get those for $19.99.
for the first time ever released a collaborative edition with Doc Martin.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Did they actually?
They
I
released
saw that last week.
they
or
released
something.
3 of them you
Saw
could
that.
buy in the store. Then there's another set that's going to go fan only. However, they haven't said how you're going to get them yet. But they released on Friday morning, $200 a pair, gone like that.
I would have tried to get those, though.
They were
are
badass.
Sold out.
They were gone.
They
I
just
want to
look
get
dirty.
some Doc Martens
Yeah,
for the
that's
stink.
awesome.
I think I'm going to wear
Torn up.
black Docs on
These
the
are
stink.
nice. These ones are cool, but these ones.
So they're distressed.
yeah.
They look worn and beat up already.
The black ones that are
Those are
fan
cool.
only look really cool because they look
Yeah.
like they've been shredded and torn up and stuff, and it's cool looking.
You got to shred them and tear them up yourself
How much?
through bad decisions. I think.
As long as the sole doesn't rip
If it
off.
doesn't smell and just reek of sweat and all kinds of fluids,
Whatever
then-
you've been kicking.
and that, you know how that your Docs would start smelling just that putrid wet smell like after a while when you warm out so hard they smell sweaty as soon as you put them on.
Gross.
That's how they have to smell.
RoboTuner, that used to be my speed run game. I used to speed run Bionic Commando all the time. Just to see that scene, and he cussed Hitler at the end of Bionic Commando and his head exploding. And it was like clone of Hitler when he went into the chamber because he was in a tube and everything floating around, and then he came to life and tried to kill you. But yeah, Bionic Commando was awesome. That was one of my favorite games.
Yeah. It didn't have nothing up on Contra. All the Contras too. Contra was the shiznit for a good 5 years.
I just got bored with Contra.
That's how all the games were back then. You didn't know any better. You didn't know that what was it? What was the Dungeons and Dragons game or the King's Lair? You didn't know that was out there. Actually, that was before
Gauntlet?
Contra, wasn't it?
You thinking of Gauntlet?
No, that King Larry or whatever.
King's Quest?
Is that what it was? And they had it
Yeah.
at Skaggs Alpha Beta. That was way before, wasn't it?
RoboTuner, that's where at his
Talking about
house.
Zelda?
No, it was before Zelda for sure.
Really?
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
RoboTuner's house is where I learned about King's Quest because when we were kids, I'd go over there and see his sister and stuff.
It's animation, right?
And
It's was one of the first animated video
no,
games.
I don't think King's Quest was. Maybe we're thinking about something else.
RoboTuner knows
Camelot.
what I'm talking. Hey, Red Pants.
Were these the days of?
It's like King's Larry's or King's Laird or something like that.
Do you remember Excalibur at Northeast Mall?
That's what.
Did you grow up here?
Dragon's Lair?
No.
Oh yeah, see, he's
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
that's right.
It's Dragon's Lair.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's
Yeah,
Lair.
yeah,
Oh, that was the
Wasn't-
cartoon one.
Right. That was like the first cartoon game
Yeah.
that was.
And it would do
Put
the
out, wasn't it?
animation sequence if you hit the control the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They used to have that, and he still has one at his house. The my favorite Star Wars games, the dot matrix kind of one with the
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or
yeah.
no, that was
Oh, yeah.
pole position. Wasn't it? What was the one where you
Prepare
had
to qualify.
Yeah, that was pole position. My bad.
Now, I grew up in North Carolina, and there was a bowling alley that I used to bicycle to that had a big arcade. And that's where I grew up, feeding my quarters into. that
We're at
sort of
North
thing.
Carolina.
Greensboro,
Y'all should cover
Oh, go
Pac-Man
Greensboro.
Fever, dude.
you think?
Yeah, that's a great song. Y'all are gonna sit here and act like Pac-Man Fever is not a great song?
I don't remember it.
Pac-Man Fever driving me crazy. Look it up.
I don't remember it.
They played that in Pixels, the Adam
oh, they
Sandler
did?
movie.
Oh,
Yes.
they did? I
Yeah.
haven't watched that yet.
Man,
Is it good?
you hear this,
No.
Robo Tuner? Can you come?
I mean,
hey,
yeah, it's
Thomas,
a good
can
movie.
you come get the knives out of my back? I just got looked at like I was a fool.
I don't remember
Yeah.
Pac-Man Fever by Buckner and Garcia.
Play it. Let it rip.
Let's see here. Let's
Woo,
see.
woo, woo,
Are
woo.
you
Starts
ready?
off with a game.
We're
Have you
not
seen
really
Pixels?
a cover band anyway, but
This is what you got to cover, man. Man, at the skating rink, this
Wow.
song was big. You see your aunt swinging around, having a little too much to drink, starting to flirt with the high school boys.
So wait a second. Hold on. This whole album.
Boy, this was the stuff back then. Wait till the chorus comes in.
Oh,
Traumatic's
God.
got to do this, man.
We're all gonna get kicked off YouTube now.
Oh, man.
Nah.
You got to just play the chorus. I think if we talk over it, they're not going to.
Yeah, we
Screw
they
us.
won't.
you have to pull it off after like 20 seconds or
I
something.
can't
Yeah.
believe y'all don't remember this at the skating rinks. Man, fever. Driving me crazy.
I
never-
vaguely remember something like this.
I've
but
never heard this.
The guy kind of reminds me of the dude from the Cult. What's his
So,
name?
When I was at the skating alley,
Yeah, Pixels.
I
wasn't
can't
that
talk about
good.
that.
You
Yeah,
the
you
skating
sure
rink
can't,
or the
sir.
bowling alley.
I
His
can't
was at
talk
the
about the
bowling
rolling.
alley, yeah.
I can't talk about the skating rink.
You know
though.
what we used to do in Palestine, Texas? We didn't have much to do.
Palestine.
So we had to prank call. And it was before they had caller ID. I think it was before you had to put in 214 or 940 or whatever.
Star
we used
69.
to call the Palestine bowling alley, and we'd go. We got it from Jerky Boys or something, and we'd call them and go, "Hey, yeah, do you guys have 10-pound balls? My kid, he has trouble with it." And he's like, "Yes, sir, we do." Well, then how do you walk? And then we'd hang up. we called the bowling alley at least once a week and said that same joke.
Has
You
anybody
have
ever
10-pound
listened
balls.
to this entire album, this Buckner and Garcia album for Pac-Man Fever?
I haven't listened to the whole thing. I was more into the Pac-Man Fever, and then I kind of let it go.
So, the second song is Froggy's Laminate. So it's
Frogger.
Frogger.
Yeah.
This one is Ode to Centipede.
Ah, Centipede.
All right, so
That's like that
they had
Twister
the old
place up.
video
Is
game
it Tornado
exploitation
Alleys?
thing going.
This is reminding me of Tornado Alleys.
Tornado Alley.
They got
Tornado
all these
Terry's.
games. Tornado Terry's. That's it. Yeah.
And then there's Do the Donkey Kong.
I was about to ask if Donkey Kong was in there somewhere.
Do the Donkey Kong.
Yeah. This is like free play. It's reminded me of free play.
It's like Crazy Climber.
Then there's one called Hyperspace. What do you think that is?
Defender.
That's
Maybe.
next.
Oh, is that next?
Is this Moon?
What about Asteroids?
Moon Rocks?
This one's
Or
called
what is it?
Hyperspace.
Moon Rocks.
Is that Space
Hyperspace.
Invaders?
Oh, it could be.
Space
it?
Invaders?
Yeah.
That
No, that's
sounds-
Asteroids.
Yeah, that sounds like
That's
asteroids.
Asteroids right there.
Then Do the Defender.
Heck yeah, dude. Oh, I want that in
Holy
Stink. Put that down. We want that. The
You want
beginning of a
Defender?
song.
I used to shoot all the people you had to rescue.
I did too.
Yeah, I
Oh.
did.
It's
I
like
did
an
As they're falling.
I didn't. Yeah,
you
I
just
didn't.
shoot them as they're falling.
Yeah, I didn't last long on that game.
Mousetrap.
Oh yeah, I remember Mousetrap. Is Cubert in there anywhere?
I don't see it. Going Berserk.
Yeah.
Which that game.
Berserk.
Yeah,
Berserker was
It was
crazy.
nuts.
Yeah,
I don't.
I like
What?
that it's like a ballad.
Yeah.
it's a ballad.
Intruder alert.
Yeah, it could shoot
intruder
up,
alert.
down, right, or left, or something like that.
Moon Patrol. Yeah. Moon Patrol. They have a Moon Patrol one.
No.
Or remember Warlock, Wizards
Warlock
of
was
Warlock,
cool.
or
Yeah.
something like that.
This is the Mariah Carey.
E.T. I Love You.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
The worst video game ever.
Yeah,
That's what it's rated.
remember everybody was
That's
building
what-
it up too when it was coming out, and then you got it. And you're like, "This is
This
it.
is horrible.
This is
So put-
stupid."
Isn't that the one that put television into bankruptcy or something like that?
I had an Intel. I still have
I
it in
think so,
television.
yeah.
I want
And
to
they-
take it over to the guys at the garage guys.
I
'cause
have one.
I-
It doesn't
Well,
work.
they don't do a show anymore, so
Oh, they're done.
No.
Dante, hit me up, man. I'll do it with you. I'll come do some garage gaming.
Okay. That's a big,
Dustin's like,
bold
he sits
lie.
on a mountain of lies. He'll
He
never
does.
show up.
This one's just called Hostage.
Hostage. Rappers on the street talking that chit
Chit
chat.
chat.
You
Hold
better.
on.
Why don't you turn that one off, man?
Yeah, that
I
was,
think they
that
got
was
the
a
other.
little-
They got that Ranger hat.
They're putting
At
that
some point,
Rangers
you're going to
hat
hit
on.
something that's politically incorrect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
That's not woke.
Sounded like it was going down a path of non-wokeness. Like I said, that's the other Texas Ranger hat right there.
Well, talking about a path of non-wokeness.
Here comes the segue.
Oh. Do we want to talk about the last 7 days since our last show?
Well, there's been some events. I mean, the deck has gotten reshuffled a bit on the
Yeah.
politics side, and it's freaking everybody out.
We had our president disappear and then decide
Until this
that
afternoon.
until this afternoon. There was all sorts of speculation. There was talk that he had, well, the public talk was that he had COVID.
Right.
The other talk was that he hurt himself in Las Vegas.
There was always the medical emergency floating out there because they said that at first, remember? And then the stuff about the flight that was hauling ass back from Vegas.
Well, a bunch of LAPD cops and people that work in
We're
the
talking a little
LAPD
bit.
have released that no, there was a medical emergency,
Emergency.
and we did have to shut down parts of Las Vegas in order to get him back to Air Force One. And they've come out. There's a bunch that have come out and said that. So.
Well, and the thing that's weird is that came back up last night a lot because there's some kind of weird fly zone ban or some kind of
they put that
document.
over his Delaware home,
And that's
or
for
where
now.
he was in Delaware.
like between the White House and Delaware. Is that
Yeah.
what they're saying?
So yeah, and then he shows back up today walking. If that's really him,
Who knows, man?
the guy did sprint up the stairs really quick. Not really sprint, but you know.
So he hasn't made any public addresses.
He did a
Did-
He just yelled at
voice. There was a
reporters and stuff.
voiceover too that he sent over to, or some kind of Kamala trick that they did with him calling
where
from
she
a,
slipped and said, you know, we know you're on the
Right.
rec. I mean, on the phone.
Mhm.
Almost said recording.
Yeah, if you've worked in radio or done any audio, you knew what you were seeing.
Yeah, and it was.
It's-
There's been a whole lot of weird shit in the last 7 days. We'll just put it that way. From what's happened to Biden, and then him stepping down and not running, to Kamala. You know, everything immediately overnight.
Yeah,
Biden's name has been taken off of.
Mm.
His resignation being on his personal letterhead and not on White House or government
signing his duties away.
Yeah, didn't even address.
letterhead.
And the other thing too, right off the big red flag too, when he stepped down was doing it on Twitter. That
Yeah.
is very strange.
And no one in the White House knew about it until it
Yeah.
was posted for the first time, and then they're like scrambling, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
yeah, it's a big mess. A lot of people are freaked out.
It's a coup.
Well, I guess we're going there. well, how many times this week have I texted you in the middle of the night and been like, have you seen this? And you're like, and then by the time I wake up and you're in your work day, things have already changed and done a
zillion
180.
times, yeah.
It's like, what is happening? Our
It's
show
crazy.
is a life of newsroom.
It really,
Our life is a show.
Except we don't know what's going on, so it's not like even we have
Exactly.
news.
Yeah.
and
know
that's the
something's
thing.
going
It's,
on.
no
Yeah.
one knows. There's a bunch of shit going on, and if it doesn't, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're, if you're a Trump lover or a
Don't.
Biden lover,
This isn't right.
there's no way you can't just sit here and be like, "Oh, this is normal. This is
Yeah.
the way things just go."
Right.
Because nothing in the last
This is
10
not
days
normal.
since the assassination attempt,
Right.
nothing has been
Well, that's
normal
what
and
I
nothing's
think.
been right. And if it doesn't make you go, "Huh, there's something weird about this,"
Yeah.
then there's something
No.
wrong with you, or you just need to go back to living underneath a rock,
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
or go and not see a Tool concert.
Yeah, one of the greatest articles written.
Anyway, yeah,
So one of the things that you referenced, I've been thinking about that as well. Is it because the younger millennials really didn't. They got thrown into the tail end of everything that was going on in Afghanistan and Iraq. And then you had Gen Z, and they just really haven't seen this kind of political turmoil in their life at all, anywhere much, or paid attention to when it's happened in other countries. But
we happen to have one in with us.
We have freaked out. This is the thing that's weird. Think about this. Do you remember the color revolution that happened in Iran a few years ago, right?
Yeah.
We are right there.
No, this is the same shit that they've done for the last 2 decades
Weren't
in
they
other
around
countries.
them? Exactly.
Except it's not as violent. But the government is being...
It's a coup, man.
Slowly overtaken by... I don't understand what's happening.
The thing that's wild to me are the Democrats that I've talked to that don't feel like they've been fucked over. It's almost like they're not aware of what just happened to them and how many millions of people's voices just got thrown away. And they're like, this is your new candidate. No matter what you think about Kamala's, however she wants to say it this week, because apparently that changes whichever crowd she's going to face.
It depends on what crowd she does that.
So
she's been known to do that.
If this is if you're gonna vote for her, that's fine. I get it. You know, you're that mad at Trump, Orange Man bad so much that you're gonna do that. That's okay. You get the right. You have the right to do that. But to not acknowledge how bad and violated you were as far as your human rights go,
well, if you've
in the process is insane.
If you've been running around going, democracy, democracy, democracy. This is a democracy, and it needs to be a democracy. And you hate Trump because he's going to get in there and turn it into a dictatorship. And now all of a sudden, everything you've been screaming about democracy
just
for the
happened
past
to you
during the entire Trump term, and then for the past year and a half, 2 years, when you've been scared that he was going to run, you just lost your democracy. You weren't allowed to vote on who your candidate's going to be.
That's the thing that's disgusting to me too. Is I feel like this is the last straw. This is the last thing they had. I think you had an attempt at a president that didn't work, and then they're like, okay, what do we do now? We actually got to take care of the Biden situation, and then all of a sudden he falls ill. Like there's so many things that I feel like they've thrown up against the wall. They've decided, and I'm speaking of the elites, Republican and Democrat. Actually, I'm just speaking elites, but I think the elites have decided that the only chance they have to keep in control of our society right now is to cause racial division. And the way they know that they're going to cause racial division is they're like, let's play this iron while it's hot. And Pelosi's just thinking, how can I make the Democrats better? She's just a evil genius.
And make her more money.
So she has no morals or values at all. She doesn't care. She'll sell our country out like that. And then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, if you don't vote for Kamala, they've already started the whole, if you don't vote for the vice president, you're a racist. Their same tagline that they go to, the mainstream media goes to, and Democrats go to because they're told by the elitist to do that. And they can't wake up out of it. Like, there's got to be members of Antifa at this point that are looking at
like
the
Alex
Democrats.
Jones over here.
No, seriously. Think about this. Don't you think that there's some members of Antifa right now going, well, now this is not what we were talking about? Like the Democrats like to use Antifa, right? They're always using them in some kind of way, or there's theories that they do, right? Soros, right? There's that theory. Okay,
which his son just donated a crap ton of money.
If you're actually an anti-fascist person, right? No matter around the world, wherever you're at, you just saw Democrats become fascist, and you're going to be okay with that. That's why I think the Democratic.
Well, it's okay because they did it.
That's the thing.
When your team does whatever,
I think our convention, the Democrats' convention,
there is
going
a
to
double
be
standard.
When you're an Astros fan and they cheat to win the World Series, it's a-okay.
Sorry, Jeremy.
Yeah.
I say, watch out at this Democrat convention that's coming up in September.
I don't even know why they're going to hold one. I don't even know why they're going to hold one. There's no reason to hold one.
Maybe they shouldn't, because it's going to be violent, I think.
Because they're talking
about. It starts
about
August 19th.
Yeah, it's not till August.
I thought it was in September.
No, it's literally on my birthday.
The Democrats.
I just couldn't imagine that there wasn't some other member of the Democratic Party, a senator or governor somewhere, that wasn't interested in vying for the presidency. That might have been potentially more moderate.
That has to be upsetting to Democrats.
Electable than
Well,
And so
the other running name forever in second place was Newsom.
But you could have had RFK at least have a debate about it. But,
Yeah,
like they could have made it
all the stuff that RFK is doing
is anti-elitist.
On his little tour and everything he's doing, they want nothing to do with what he's saying and
At
how
this
he's
point,
being.
but I'm talking about back in the day when they decided that they were just going to toss everything over to Biden.
But look at what they did.
It's scary to me.
Look at what they did when Biden went in. Look at what they did when they put Hillary in, when they fucked over Bernie. If they would have ran with Bernie, they wouldn't have lost.
That's what I'm saying. I guarantee
They
you
would have lost
the
to
Gen
Trump.
X,
There's no
the
way.
Gen X Democrats and the I would say the millennials, the older millennials are going, what the heck? Hillary just did this to Bernie, and now you're gonna make us all agree with the super PAC and just fall in line?
Well, I mean, it's the money. They're like, oh, the last 48
totally.
hours got $100 million. And I know average Americans aren't going to pony up $100 million. That money's got to come from corporate something.
The Traumatics don't have that in their band fund?
I'm afraid we don't.
Okay.
That's why you can't do a Pac-Man.
And if we
fever.
did, I'd spend it on recording. So, or saving pouring glory or something. But anyway.
Yay. Talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah. But it's
the
where's the money coming from, and who can we put out there that's going to get us the money to get them elected? Because I think history has shown us that whoever has the most money wins, or it's very close to that.
Yeah.
And so the Democrats are trying to maintain their financial base any way they can, and they're in panic mode a little bit here. Trump's got his base going, and again, they're, regardless of what side you're on, it's very polarizing.
Both parties are extremely polarizing. And
it's hard to admit.
A moderate that sits
I'm a
in the
moderate.
middle, if you're a moderate that sits in the middle,
well, that's because
I don't
moderates have
give a
been called
shit
racist
about-
for the last 5 years.
I don't give a
that
shit
are
about
not-
either one of them.
That's the thing
You know?
is, but
What is
that
that, a
type of
centrist?
person, a centrist. If you're a centrist, you've been called a racist for 5 years. You're sick of it.
But then it's vice versa. Like sometimes, like right-leaning people will be like, "You're so woke,"
I don't
and
feel
then
like I've been called a
left-leaning
racist. I
will
mean,
be
I
like, "Oh, you racist! You're." It's like the fishhook theory.
Well, you know what? Let's leave
Well,
that
you
alone.
can't even talk about
Yeah, I
that
can't
right
talk
now.
about that.
She just looked at it.
No, she's right though.
I know
Like it
it-
goes both ways. Is that? I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Left people will be like, "Oh, you're so racist," and then the other side will be like, "Oh, you're so woke."
that's what we get.
Yeah.
The whole first 2020
That's
elections
what that's what centrist. That's a fishhook.
That's what I'm
theory.
saying. You have
Yeah.
people like Bill Maher and Joe Rogan that are called racist and stuff, and they're not.
It's because
they're
you're-
just they're
You're
more
not
central.
you're not on whoever's team.
That's right.
So they have to
That's
label
right.
you as something. But yet, they're
It's tribalism.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about all this youngster
As she's
that's
texting.
dealing with all this?
Why does it matter if I'm texting?
And in this your first go around to vote?
I don't even know if I can register. I think I missed the deadline to register to vote.
I don't think you could do that. It's pretty close up.
It's Pipsy.
But
I didn't
Do
know.
they even check anymore? I think you can just show up and
Show
fill
up.
out a ballot.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
other people just come over the border and vote,
That's
so
the
you can
thing.
do it. They'll be like, "Oh, you're
It
a cute
happens
little."
in some states.
The younger generation's definitely more woke, more left leaning. Gen Z is. But for a generation that's so big on misinformation, like in identifying it, they have a lot of misinformation.
But how do you feel about all the chaos that's happened the last
think-
10 days?
I think a lot of it's fear mongering. A way to control a society is to instill a sense of fear on both sides. Because you have.
So if an attempted assassination of a president scares you,
It scares a lot of people. And for both sides, because, the Democrats are saying, oh, Project 2025. And then the Republicans are saying, well, your whole country is going to be.
Let me stop right there.
completely-
That Project 2025, that has nothing to do with Trump right now. It's the Heritage Foundation.
The
though.
Heritage
That's the
Yeah,
thing
but
is
they- but
keep
they're-
combining the
but
two.
They're
The
associating
Heritage,
it with
but
voting
I don't
red.
think the Heritage Foundation is a fan of Trump's abortion views because
No.
he wants that to be left to the states, and he's going more central, like he's lightening up on the abortion stuff.
and don't they? They also
And the
don't
Heritage
like his,
people, I think they're
his
pretty
views on
hardcore.
guns.
No abortions at all. I think so. I don't know where everybody's thinking that Donald Trump is doing at Project 2025. Just
No.
because
Because it's all a bunch of his old
it's that
people.
Tea Party
Yeah.
shit.
Well, it's
Well-
a bunch of people that used to work under him. that started putting all this together.
Well, Donald Trump has even came out and said himself that he has nothing to do with Project 2025.
That's what I'm saying. But if you see social media, or you listen to the mainstream media, you're being told they're almost like synonymous.
Again, it's the age of misinformation.
But yeah,
it really is. It's all propaganda.
Six of his former cabinet secretaries helped write the document, so that's why a lot of people are kind of.
I thought that the Heritage
wary.
Foundation is that same group of people
But
as like the Tea Party was.
Weren't a lot of those 6 of his former cabinet also like 3 or 4 of them were people he fired?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
like
said that's why he said he doesn't associate with them, but that's why a lot of people are like, well, they think a lot of his if he is elected, a lot of his new cabinet members might have the same ideas. And then they're also wary about the whole Roe v. Wade thing when he appointed Judge, whatever her name is, Miss Dusty.
Miss Dusty.
What's her name that he appointed after that one died? Right before Joe
Kavanaugh.
Biden.
Yeah, Kavanaugh, and then the lady, the other lady.
I can't remember her
the
name.
judge.
Barrett?
Something.
Judge
Baroness?
Judge Baroness.
Whatever her name is.
Judge Pearl Jam.
That she overturned Roe v. Wade because of her vote. Because the lady that was before her, it was mostly in favor of not overturning it. So a lot of people were kind of like.
It's funny how the Roe versus Wade is kind of coming back to Republicans to bite them in the ass again.
Well, they just moved it down to the states, and it's not like you can't go anywhere to get an abortion. You just can't go out of the state of Texas.
Then you have to think about it. The people, a lot of the time, people who are getting abortions are people from low income and cannot financially support a child.
I say those
hobos hop on trains all the time and travel across the country. They get on there with their little stick and their little knapsack. Hop on a train going to New Mexico.
That's what
hobo
life. I
life.
was gonna make the stick. Never mind.
Fuck, just get on a train, dude.
So
walk into a Planned Parenthood in Colorado.
Or let the train run over your belly.
No, it's not that easy. But that's why it's a kind of makes women.
It's not easy. It's under scrutiny.
It's not.
Speaking as a physician,
but here's my
especially
thing.
in Texas, it's turned a lot of my physician colleagues into criminals, and so I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So here's the deal too.
Well, here's the thing.
But the thing is though, right now, do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think that right now is the time to make a stance on that? Now, I'm not marginalizing at all. I agree. I'm pro-choice, so I don't want the emails coming in fucking my world up. I'm pro-choice, okay?
You have daughters.
But is it the thing is right now you have to vote on black and white issues, not gray. Gray is not the time right now. We cannot talk about this is a gray area. You might do this, you might do that. I think both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans, have to vote for what the major issues of the country are and punt on any kind of abortion shit. Whether it be on the right side or the left side,
but
punt
that's the thing.
on the abortion
that's
shit this time.
Hold on. That's the thing that if you're on the right, if you're on the left, you're going to vote your party. That's not what they need to, what they're focused on. They're focused on everybody in the middle. That is sitting here in the middle, and
you talking about the propaganda right now? They're trying.
No. Who they need to appeal to with these black and white issues?
Yeah, well,
is the people in the middle, because your people on your right,
they're sold.
They're sold. Your people on your left are sold. They're both the greatest ever. Whatever.
I think we're saying the same thing. Vote on the issues and the issues that matter the most. Prioritize them, huh?
That's what the middle,
But abortion is such a gray thing because a lot of people aren't actually pro-choice; they're pro-situation.
That's what I'm saying.
There's like a medical side.
We can work this out as a country, but right now, I feel like our country needs to be saved, like completely.
Oh, you're saying
we are headed down.
You're saying like not even.
I don't.
But I think. I see what
you're
saying.
gonna make us feel better in a minute.
My soapbox is coming up. You just wait.
Oh, I got one too that I'd like to get to before we get off the politics. But I understand. I understand there's a battle for the centrist, right? I get that. What I'm saying is prioritize what your issues are. I've always said vote on the issues, not for the team, right? So men and women of the United States, first of all, you don't have to tell anybody what you're voting, who you're voting for, what issue or anything. Don't let people intimidate you for voting what matters to you. And then secondly, after you decide what issues matter to you the most, then prioritize those issues, and that's how you vote for this next coming election. Don't do the home team. Don't play teams. Tribalism is killing this country.
Yeah.
Paid for by Matt Stubbs for president.
By Matt Stubbs for president. Kamala already did her first
rally thing.
Yeah, her first rally tonight or today, and she already went after guns. So peace out.
Well, you're not voting anyway. So
Later,
remember you
yeah,
said you're
I don't like either
out of
one
protest.
of them, and this was
you're the
I don't
apathetic
care.
voter that they talk about.
I don't know who on the right they had in line if something happened to Trump to come in there, but the lineup that they have said on the left this whole time that they're waiting for the DNC to put in there, if Biden was going to fall apart or whatever, I don't like any of them. I don't like her. She's dumb. I mean, and I hate to say this, but she is. She's ridiculously awful. She's just a mush head, just like Biden is.
Mushroom head too.
She didn't do anything as vice president.
She hasn't
actually
done anything.
Like, people were complaining about Mike Pence, but he actually did some things for the highways when he was. But she did nothing.
Pence?
Yeah, Mike Pence made a lot of money, like donated.
I don't know. I couldn't stand him, man.
both of them, Kamala and Pence, both like just disappeared most of the term, and now all of a sudden, she's back.
But the thing is, was Pence ever called out as the
They must
czar
have been doing
of the
something.
border?
We
though
just didn't hear about it.
I think that's
No,
the
yeah,
thing.
Mike Pence
is
did
there's a lot of
something.
They
behind
weren't
the
in the
scenes that
news.
we don't because
Whatever
of,
they were doing wasn't in the news.
because it wasn't
Yeah.
orange man bad or oatmeal brain farting. That's why I think.
Yeah, he invested.
But you're right.
in-
There has to be stuff that she's done.
He-
yeah, they were just sitting around in an office doing nothing. They had to be-
playing Pac-Man Fever and
yeah,
some
Robo whatever.
Well, Mike Pence actually did do something. He donated $800 million to the Crossroads of America to invest in like better roads for some
okay.
reason. When you look at what Kamala Harris did, it says she was an advocate. Like nothing.
just her
didn't-
advocacy was
Didn't do anything.
Well, she was. That's the thing is they keep saying she was labeled the czar of the border. Well, the border has consistently.
But she never went.
She never went down there, and when she did travel, it was
But
to
she
the
also
farther. It was.
She also never
south
has
of the
been to
equa-
Europe. So
That's
do I need to play that clip?
yeah, but that's the
her?
thing is that's the attitude she's kind of had.
I've never been to the border, but I've also never been to Europe.
Right.
So I don't understand why
But
you're
your own
questioning me.
president called you out to that. If you were going to make trips to to far South America, like you said you were, I think you only did that once or twice. She didn't do that a whole hell of a lot either.
Oh, I don't have a
So-
subscription to Fortune,
And
so
then
I can't see
the
her
only thing
list.
that I know, the only thing that I know that she has done
Climate
is
stuff.
locked up a bunch of Gen Z pot dealers in
1,900
in
over
LA.
1,900
I know about
people.
or in California,
Yeah, in California.
1,900 prosecutions for weed dealing.
But now she says she wants to legalize marijuana.
yeah.
She talks. She's the queen of talking out of both sides of her mouth.
I mean, she was
Well,
a call
times have
girl.
changed too. So there's a
She
there's
was a call
definitely
girl in the
wave of
80s, so-
legalization
Yeah.
going on that wasn't present.
It was the hot
years
political.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. I
And-
get that, but it's still offensive to a lot of Gen Zers from California, or not Gen Zers,
I mean-
Gen X.
Maybe I am for a whore being the president. That'd
Oh.
be cool.
Again, we have two different emails.
Is Montel Williams still alive?
Yeah,
I can
Okay.
see you
right?
saying, you know what? It's refreshing to finally have a politician who's openly criminal, but versus the ones that are in the closet that want you to think they're straight. And when I say straight, I mean not crooked.
Well, break.
It all
Well,
went-
that's coming out
Why'd
of
you
your
just
paycheck.
break everything?
Definitely
Oh my
coming
gosh.
out of your paycheck.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
That's the thing. That's the thing that worries me is a lot of the younger people. I don't know if they remember how. I don't know if they know. That's what I'm saying. That they think that this might be normal in politics, and they don't realize what the Democrats got going on right now is really bad for democracy.
Okay.
It's like they don't
everything's
even
fine.
Politics has
understand
been a
it.
circus
Everything's
for
fine.
8 years now or something like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, more so
It
than
is.
every
It's
time
so
in the
bad.
past.
My favorite thing of the week though was yesterday when Kim Cheadle
oh,
went to the
my.
Hill to have her little hearing in front of the Senate, and I've never seen anyone in my life get destroyed that bad by both sides of the
Yeah.
aisle. They ripped her.
I've
like-
never seen anything like that.
at
I've never
least
seen
two new buttholes.
bipartisan bitch session where they just all go like the Democrats would do the whole AR-15s are bad, and then immediately launch into a diatribe of why did you do this? You're not going to answer this. Like just
You knew you were coming here.
this is what you
all
brought?
of them were like, it's been
It was
9
insulting to them.
days. You are the Secret Service that has
She didn't know how
access
many-
to everything.
She didn't even know her own agent, how many agents she had.
She had no clue. You've had 9 days to get all these facts and to get all these reports and everything, and she hasn't done shit. And today she resigned.
Oh.
See, some think that that's a wag the dog. Everybody look
think-
at this
I think
because what's
it's
going
a,
on with Biden.
I think it's a, yeah.
Because you have a theory that is looking more and more likely
The Biden's been
every
dead.
day.
Biden's been dead since the Thursday or Friday.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Oh,
like he's been dead since like the
COVID.
Deftones.
Oh,
and-
no.
and Gojira.
No, technically, I think he's been dead half of his.
Don't
Yeah.
do it again.
The real Biden has been dead.
It's doubles.
Now the doubles and
And
stuff,
AI.
and they're running out, and they don't know what to do, and they're freaking out.
It's crazy
We're
time
running
because
out of Biden
Which,
doubles?
here's the deal.
It's like Weekend at Bernie's.
Why not just say he's dead and roll with it? Get the sympathy going. Get all that
Sympathy
crap.
vote.
Get
Yeah,
the
see?
people. I mean,
yeah, I mean, hey, Democrats, you could vote for the dead.
Because maybe he's probably not dead.
I mean,
he's
if
just
you
very,
can
very
vote and you're
close
dead,
to
then you
dying.
can vote for the dead, right? See what I did there?
Is that the theory? He's either dead or incapacitated somewhere?
Yes,
Being-
hospice
Yeah.
care is what most people are saying. He's
in hospice
Hospice
care.
Does he have a sudden stroke or something? What's the theory there?
there's some kind of he had something that had to do with dementia that was stroke like, and they said that it had that's what I heard the last. Now
What
this was
the-
late last night. He
Some of the
might have
Vegas guys said
that it was that.
that it was released was, what was going on their radios, because
It was not
like they
COVID.
said, when all hell broke loose, when this incident happened, all their radios was just chatter. And so a whole bunch of the Las Vegas PD that was allowed to help with everything. And what county is that? I forgot what county that is. Some of their sheriff's
Las
department
Vegas?
came out. Yeah, it's
Tupac.
I haven't
County?
watched
Big-
that show in a while. I can't think of what it's called. It's McLennan,
Yeah,
something like that.
McLaren County or something.
But they were saying that basically their radios was just chatter, so they got to hear everything. And
Clark County.
That's it, Clark.
That he had slipped and fell and hit his head and had head trauma that caused a stroke.
And then there's
That's
the
what they went
thing
with
the
it.
thing that's the reason why I say that there was no way that this was just a bad day of COVID that happened out in Vegas is because everybody has access to the information that what's the WAA or who's the Sky? Not WFAA. but
FAA.
The Air Force One broke a record in coming back from Vegas to Delaware, right?
To DC, and they were supposedly taking in Johns Hopkins.
And there's no reason that the pilot of
Maryland.
that plane would risk that whole thing falling apart up in the air by flooring it, because they said
Yeah.
the record was way over like any speed
So in my
they've
little
ever flown.
pilot forums and everything that I like to
Your
go through,
747
that I talk
forum?
about, that I
well,
go and I watch
you've saved
these pilots.
lives with your training that you've
No,
given
no.
people over.
The guys, that's all they've talked about is like you're
The
flying a
simulators.
747 apart at the speeds
where they were going.
that they made it back to Maryland.
And that was
Yeah.
verified by every press. They kicked the
And then
press
they went
off, too.
Yeah, the press
But
wasn't
every-
allowed to get on.
Yeah, but the thing is, when you have radar that shows how fast you're going, there's no real way you can hide that. I mean, I'm sure there's a way they could have, but they should have thought of it, because that's what's fishy to me. Why risk all that by hauling ass that fast from Vegas back to the Northeast unless you're dead or close to dead? Crazy, huh?
Pretty
Crazy.
wild.
That's the other thing that drives me
Threw him
nuts.
on the plane and flew him back to
He
as fast as they
immediately,
could.
because he had just landed. Didn't
Yeah,
he
they
just
said they
get
were
there to
taking him-
Vegas?
rather than
Or-
take him to the major trauma center or whatever that was there.
Yeah,
were
like
taking
why
him to
wouldn't they get a
Johns
life
Hopkins.
flight nurse or something?
They wanted to get him in John Hopkins or
Because
whatever,
of-
and they said he was stable.
That's the thing.
trackable.
Was it Johns
That's the
Hopkins
thing. That's the
rather than
thing. That
Walter
if
Reed?
this is what's happened, there's people that got a lot of explaining to do, because it makes no sense to do that.
Yeah, why
unless
would
you're
it-
trying to cover something up, or you're trying to you're trying to influence something, which would be the election, there's no other reason to do that. It's just like you said. You would go immediately to the high. Vegas has high trauma facilities.
Yeah, they have a
So
level
it
one
makes
trauma
no
center
sense to
somewhere.
load up and get in a
And
plane and haul ass back unless you're going to affect the agenda or the narrative that's going to be
Life
floated out in the
flight,
next
they fly
24
under
hours.
every conditions. Like if it's raining, if it's storming, like life flight, they fly.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So they really don't have an excuse.
I don't know. Crazy stuff. So let me say one more thing about all hell that's breaking loose before we bounce on it, because it's actually a positive. I don't know what Dustin has up his sleeve, but this is positive. So
mine's positive.
Okay, cool. So I started thinking late at night.
Oh, Jesus.
When I have my quiet time.
Oh yeah.
But
on the Red Bull.
Yeah. So if you think about it right now, there's proponents of both on both sides of the argument, Democrats and Republicans, that insist that at any moment Russia is going to launch an attack and take advantage and kill everybody in the United States, or China, or Iran, or North Korea, right? That's pretty much the guys that they always talk about. Man, they're about ready to pounce on us. Here's the thing that I think you can take that's positive if you think about the philosophy of what's going on geopolitically right now, and that is, if Russia has not attacked us in the last 3 weeks, China has not attacked us in the last 3 weeks, North Korea, no attack, Iran, who knows, their attacks, that's kind of how they go. No one knows, right? So, that being said, the next man up, when you're doing geopolitical stuff and you're dealing with this Ukrainian stuff and you're dealing with this Israel, what's going on in Israel and all that, keep that in your mind. Russia, all these bad actors, they've had plenty of opportunity to take advantage of what's going on in our country the last 2 weeks, and they have not done that. So keep that in the back of your mind when you're about to start a nuclear war, no matter where you're at. Everybody needs to calm down right now, fix America, and take a breath and make good decisions. Russia, I don't think is going to... I'm pretty sure they would have already flattened us if they had a plan to do so at some point, or China. They would have done it in the last 2 weeks. This is the most vulnerable the United States of America has ever been. So that is kind of a positive thing, right?
Wait, but why would they? Why would they attack? Because we're already, if we're,
It's
here's
the Cold
the thing.
War scare.
Oh, true.
And
But
no
if we're
one
already
wants mutually assured destruction either.
Exactly.
True. But
Exactly.
if we're already in if we're already we're already sending actual military stuff to Israel and stuff like that. So that means that we're already allocating a lot of money to our military.
Exactly.
So why would they attack?
That's what I'm saying. Is our country has a heavy hand in does a lot of stuff that makes money off of these wars. The bad guys might be us right now. We might need to start taking a look at ourselves and say, hey, we didn't get attacked.
We might be committing some war
When
crimes.
we didn't get attacked when we were going through all that hell, when all that Biden stuff and Trump stuff was going on. He got shot at and all that. So why do we need to just send guys in to blow up a pipeline to keep a war going so we
Well-
can make more money? It makes no sense.
And also, a lot of these scare tactics with these countries are about to launch nuclear war on us at any time is just the media producing scare
That's
tactics
exactly.
to sell stuff.
You're right.
Fear-mongering.
I've said that for
Fear-mongering. Fear's
years
your
now.
only
We're
God.
not going to. I mean, that's not.
I just hope our
A
leaders
nuclear
remember
war
that.
is just not going to happen.
I know the common man knows that, like us.
Yeah.
But I hope the leaders, whoever it is that's about to be elected in office, remember that when they're doing geopolitical stuff. Because I'm telling you, we are exposed right now.
I think there are military protocols already in place
Yeah,
to
that could definitely be.
go trigger if any of these events should happen.
There are.
We're not really at a military war with Russia. We're doing a lot of these proxy things. They got their hands full in Ukraine. They don't want to muck with anything right now. North Korea hasn't necessarily proven that they're a true military
I can't even
threat
get some
at
lunch
this point.
further than 20
China
miles.
still depends on us heavily economically, and so there, strange bedfellows, but still that's what we are. So disrupting our economy and stuff is not really in their best interest.
Right.
They almost did that. I mean, that almost happened with the whole COVID thing anyway. So that's as close as you're going to get.
That's my point.
And so, yeah, I think that
because
our military protection is ongoing regardless of what happens.
It's the best in the world,
political
actually.
arena.
That it's a deterrent for sure. But the thing that is great is that there has been no movement towards it because this would have been the time that it happened.
Now,
even
if
though
you want,
what you're saying, I understand what you're saying about how, well, no, it just hasn't been strategically the time for it. I get that too. But I don't think that's what it is. I think at the end of the day, China and Russia are just trying to make their country better. They have no desire to destroy our country, no matter what.
I've been
nuclear,
saying that
Well,
for
we buy all their
years.
stuff.
Anytime
We're the biggest
nuclear,
consumers of their
Exactly.
the
stuff.
fear of nuclear war comes up,
Exactly.
I've been saying that for years on this show. Anytime anybody brings it up. Now, if you want to have the shit scared out of you, like I did a couple of days ago, go listen to episode 2174 of Joe Rogan Experience. It was released 2 weeks ago. It's with Annie Jacobson. She wrote a book called The Nuclear War, A Scenario, and the entire book is breaking it down in minute increments of what would happen
leading up to it.
No, if a country launched. You would have 72 minutes at most to figure out what to do with your life.
Just say bye.
If you
if you're in Arlington.
And that is if you were one to know that
Within minutes.
that a missile just left a silo and it's headed our way.
That's
you would have
why-
72 minutes. Her interview with Joe Rogan scared the fuck out of me.
That's why you're going to hear Trump bring up the Star Wars
It's pretty
type
crazy.
thing again.
Doesn't exist.
No, he's going to say we need to start a defense system like
And
the Iron
she
Dome.
talked about that, and she's
The
talked.
Iron Dome.
Her entire book is talking to all sorts of retired people and all sorts of people that were around during the Star Wars era with
That
Reagan
book
and all
was-
that. And
Are you going to read it?
I
Sounds
really
scary.
don't need to now that she's talked about everything,
You
but
got the synopsis. And
that nothing will stop anything. There's nothing you can stop once a missile's coming at you at
It's-
Mach 12. The chance of actually shooting it down is null. And
Is this what we're supposed to feel good about?
No.
Okay.
But in the book, she talked about we have 75 missiles that are made to be interceptors that are supposed to intercept whatever's coming in here. Just 75. And there's like
just 75.
1,100 that Russia has nuclear warheads pointed at us. One thing I didn't know is that both countries agreed that as of right now, none of our nuclear arsenal is pointed at targets within the mainland of the opposing country. Just in case there is an accident or something happens,
They have
both
to aim it in,
countries
dial it in and stuff.
have them aimed at the ocean, which I thought was kind of
so once they
interesting.
get in the air, they have to be programmed to go to their destination
Or before launch.
Or before launch, right before launch.
Yep.
That makes
So
sense.
something accidentally goes off.
Yeah, because and that's it. Just in case something accidentally happens or whatever, it'll go into the
Was
ocean.
it the
and-
Carter story or something on the?
And then
on the
we'll have
Cold Wars?
Godzilla.
Remember the Cold War, the documentary on Netflix? Was it Carter or something that was like got woke up and was like, okay, I got to make a decision, and then he was like, he was thinking about as he was walking down the hall, did I just say bye to my wife by just kind of patting her on the butt and walking out? And then he started thinking about why would Russia do, like, it made no sense.
Well,
because there was some kind of
there's
alarm malfunction
there's
or
another
something that
story.
they had over in Russia that was saying that they were about to send a bunch of missiles towards us.
A
right?
Russian technician was watching and was like, all of a sudden, there were 6 missiles headed towards Russia,
And then it turned to
and he's freaking
2,000.
out. No,
No, whatever the report was started reporting back that it was 2,000 that were
she
going to.
tells the story exactly as it is and what happened,
Oh, the
and
lady
has
on
it
the
factual because she interviewed everybody when it took her like years to write this book.
I'm not talking about Joe Rogan, man. I'm talking about the documentary.
No, but I'm telling you, the actual real story was there were 6 coming to Russia.
Got it.
And
Yes.
the
Check.
guy sat there, and before passing it up the chain, was like, "Well, if the U.S. was going to be attacking Russia, they wouldn't be
6.
sending 6. They'd be sending hundreds of nukes at once." And so he decided that it was just a glitch. Started looking at things, and it was their radar.
That's not what I'm
glitched
talking
out.
about then. This might be the same story, but there was a second report that came in shortly after the 6 that said, now it's 2,000, sir. And that's when the Americans were like, all right, none of this sounds like it's making sense. And that was on the Netflix documentary.
I don't
about
remember that part of the
I don't know
Netflix
your
documentary.
Well, I guess it doesn't exist then, man.
I don't remember that story on the Netflix
I haven't
one.
seen the Joe Rogan interview, so.
I did see War Games.
So my soapbox is this, guys. I'm going to stand on
Better
it for a
make me
minute.
feel good.
This is all about feel good. Everybody's freaking out. Everybody's just like, they don't know what's going to happen. You know, the right is going to take over the country and we're going to become a dictatorship and, you know, democracy is going to be completely destroyed. You know, the left is over here. That's what they think the right's going to do. The right thinks the left is going to, you know, make laws in place where we're all going to have to cut off our private parts or whatever.
Oops.
Everybody's freaking out. You know, they don't know what's going to happen. We're going to have to give up our guns, whatever. And I say this. You should be thankful that you're living in this time.
Yeah.
And
very unique.
you're able to see this because in my life, I did not expect to see two empires completely crumble. And when I was younger, I don't really remember the fall of the Soviet Union. You know, I didn't really care about it. But when the Soviet Union crumbled and broke apart, you know, that's an empire dying and running away. But right now, we have front row seats to the death of an empire. And you should be excited and thrilled that we're about to watch America fucking burn. And we're going to get to start something new.
This is what I was talking about right here.
And we're going to it's going to be cool. It's going to be awesome. We live in a state that is, you know, everybody gives a shit about our power grid, but we don't have to rely on anybody else in this country for shit.
Yeah.
Okay?
You're making good points.
It's going to be fun. Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Don't get freaked out and stressed out.
No, I hope if the apocalypse end of the world happens, it's zombies.
I mean, I wish I could have seen the fall of Rome.
Rome?
The end of the British Empire.
Oh, no.
You know, you're sounding like that.
Alexander the Great take over Persia.
Yes.
There was wasn't there a trend
Yes.
the
end of the Goths.
Wasn't there a trend about white guys' obsession with the Greek collapse
Roman
of the
Empire.
Roman Empire.
Yeah.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire? Was the trend going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're here.
Yeah, we are.
You know?
This is a right here, right now by Jesus Jones or whatever.
I mean, a lot of us, we don't
right
know
now.
what happened to the Mayans. We
Yeah.
don't know what happened to, you know,
But we're
half
gonna-
of the tribes in Central America. But we get to see what happens to us.
That's why your favorite episode is Rogue One. That right there.
You sit on the beach
And you watch it blow
and
in.
you watch the laser blow your planet up.
So romantic.
It's gonna be awesome, guys. Just enjoy it while you can. And the government's not gonna kill us. Mother Earth is. Did y'all see what happened in Yellowstone today?
Or Louisville last night.
Or the Hill Country all day today?
Yes. It's out of control. Or Wales that decided they weren't having it anymore.
Or where was that at? Port
Somewhere.
I forgot. Delaware? Or no,
Gulf of
where was
Mexico.
it?
Pleasure Pier.
God, I forgot where that was. But the whales started attacking ships, and a giant blue whale comes up out of the water and lands on a ship. And
Haven't they done that before?
Really?
Yeah,
crushes
they have,
it, and it sinks.
But it's funny this
Well,
time.
supposedly the core of the Earth is changing its rotation a little bit. Or
I think
something
it's
like
CERN
that.
still. I agree with you. I think once CERN dilated fully, I think we're hosed. We're done.
This Biscuit Basin, though,
That's
at
nuts.
Yellowstone, because Yellowstone's an ender. If Yellowstone fully erupts,
We're
scientists have
dead.
said for years it's a geological ender.
You ain't lying.
And this little eruption at Biscuit Basin and these people running and what it did to everything,
There's a
and
video of this too, right?
a hardcore video.
Oh my gosh.
And then there's video of everything after what all it destroyed and tore
Seems
up.
like something that would be big news if there wasn't other things happening, right?
Yeah. I mean,
That's huge.
I don't think you need to worry about Trump or
jump.
Kamala. I think you need to worry about Mother Earth about to just unleash her fury on you. And all
She
of us.
tried with
It's
COVID.
going to be great.
The videos that I've just seen little captures on Twitter or something real quick that I've gone ahead and flipped it because I don't need to have that anxiety today. I don't need to have the world having a what do you call it when you implode?
The world burping.
Or
'Cause
what
that's
is it?
all this
What-
is.
What's
It's
the,
just a
what's
little
the
burp.
the song? What's the band? The
Jesus Jones. We just
no,
talked
not
about
the right
that.
here, right now. The other one. The oh, never mind. Anyway,
This footage of the
This
whale
is
hitting
nuts.
this boat is so awesome. I'm just like, yeah, fuck you, boaters. They say it got
it's
scared
the
and pissed off.
damn it, what's the name of that band? They were big in the
I wanna
aughts. They played with System of a Down.
Just said see ya.
They're from like San Diego.
They're getting revenge on SeaWorld.
Deftones.
The-
They're
No,
from
but they were
Corn.
kind of like
San
that.
Diego.
But they're more chick. Like
Pod.
the girls liked them a lot. Not the pod, but the ones that were like holes punched in it. He sounded like
What?
he tried to sound like Mike Patton on a lot of his
Oh my
songs.
gosh. It's not.
No,
San
it wasn't,
Diego?
it wasn't ISIS, but
Sublime.
it sounded like that. So- they did
Trying
the
to think
song
of-
about drinking and driving. Let you take the keys and drive.
Lit.
No, it wasn't lit.
I'm trying to think of
They're
all the Southern
huge.
California bands that
The
played
guy's,
with
the
System of a
singer's
Down.
name is Brandon, I think, and he's
Incubus.
Incubus.
Oh,
That's it.
God.
11 a.m.
Yeah.
Incubus.
What's the song about the fire
I don't know.
spontaneously combusting?
I gave up on that band.
Not too much on them.
Man,
Just kidding.
that took me a long time to describe something that was very trivial.
Incubus.
You stuck with it though.
I
And you-
did.
and
I had
you-
to find
and you
out the
came
name of
out
that
with it.
band, dude.
You worked through
Incubus.
it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about Pouring Glory real quick because you brought it up.
Yes.
Is
There
it-
were some fears that it was closing down, but this weekend they were open, and I went on Sunday, and that place was packed. It was a
Well,
good
it was
time.
packed at the. I've gone to several of the open mics, that Denver would host.
Yeah.
and it
There
was
a good
pretty
turnout
busy
for those.
there.
Yeah.
I don't know what the profit margin is or what it takes to keep a business like that open. Certainly, it's a sign of the times because a ton of those places have been struggling,
Yeah.
and I don't know what permanent changes need to happen in order to keep those places viable. But yes, they closed suddenly. Then they're like, "Hey, we reopened again." I know that on you guys may be involved with this too, but on September 28th, was supposed to be Andrew Turner's live music
Festival
culmination festival where we were among the bands that played a show before. We were all supposed to play
Yeah.
there that day, and then it was like, well, are we gonna have to find another venue? And
I don't know what's going on with that.
what's
confused.
happening with all of
Hell,
that?
Andrew
And they
didn't
have
even
life
tell me
for
that
the
the dates
moment,
changed.
but how long is that gonna last?
I had to find out the date changed through someone else.
Is that
Andrew
the one
hasn't
you were
even told me
playing?
that.
The
No, we're playing his
that's the cicada.
his show at the Cicada on August 11th. August 11th, Sunday. We're doing we're playing early-ish on a Sunday, and that's been kind of all. I've talked to him about this. The communication on this hasn't been good, and trying to get this done. But I'm going to promote it. I was hoping to do one of his shows, but that hasn't worked out. And now 3/5 of my band's out of town up until we play the show. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
I'm gonna try and make it over there. I have to do a solo show over at Fred's Texas Cafe.
I could eat a Fred's burger.
I could use a Fred's burger, too.
That sounds good.
Pretty good.
We should have done a show at
if I get-
Fred's
If I get
tonight.
finished up early enough.
Does
I'm
Fred's
trying to-
North still exist?
I have no idea. The one I'm thinking of is Camp Bowie West.
Yeah, the
The one
The other one.
that was off 7th Avenue closed a while ago.
yeah.
Along
They
with
had the one right up here
multiple
on
other
Western
good
Center,
venues.
but I don't know if it's still open or
I
not.
don't either.
We used to
That'd
go
be
eat there
a-
all the time.
That'd be a.
We did a show from there.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
And, that was young Jerry Jonestown Massacre on location.
On location.
Remember,
For
we thought we were gonna
St. Patty's Day?
We thought we were quitting our jobs back then. We're like, we got it, man.
Yeah,
We're
we
gonna
are.
be famous. We're gonna get podcockies. What?
So yeah, ours is August 11th, Sunday at Cicada. The Spectacle and Sick Puppies and Temporal Distortions are all playing, and then we're gonna do another show in September. I'll have more information on that after this August one, and then everybody needs to book their day for October 25th back at the Cicada for the Do For It Halloween show. Come in costume. That's when, if you've ever been to one of these, if you haven't, this is when all the bands pick another band and cover them for the entire night. So, and it's always fun.
Wow.
So we got a
So-
couple of people that have messaged us about Denton. Is that not happening?
Right
'Cause
now,
a lot of Denton people want us to come up there.
right now, I have not heard any of it happening in
What
Denton. That
venue?
right now, it's at Cicada,
And that might be the,
On the
only
25th.
chance to see
No.
a Do For It Records.
October 25th.
But in Denton.
know
Oh.
here. We're trying to get one squared away. but
Used
it
to the
hasn't
Do
happened.
For It Halloween show, you'd have one in Fort Worth, one in Denton, or one in Dallas, one in Denton. There was always
Yeah.
one in Denton. But right now, no
just
one
one
said
show, it looks
anything
like, so
for Denton at all. And the next night, I can't do anything anyway, so. Because that's my sister's annual Halloween extravaganza.
Yeah.
But the 25th August, or I'm sorry, 25th of October at Cicada. So far, it's Korn at the drive-in, Billy Idol, and who else am I missing?
Well,
At Cicada?
we don't know about one
Cicada.
band. One band has not announced, but there's
Yeah, well, they're-
rumors of what they're going to do, but we know the band,
Yeah,
right?
Oh,
Marlon,
and they're
still
covering
in,
these
right?
bands.
yeah, we're all covering
Marlon's
those bands.
still
That's
in.
what we do every year.
Marlon, you guys still in the
So
show?
which band are you guys covering?
We're gonna cover Korn. That will be the Drag the Ocean band, and then the Spectacle is doing Billy Idol.
Oh, double duty.
Almost triple duty. Almost.
Yeah. Almost. Might still get called up the way it's
Might.
looking.
Traumatics only know how to play traumatic songs.
It's a fun
We're
night.
not that deep.
One of the things that's really cool about doing this, and ever since I've been in the Spectacle doing this with them, is you learn a lot of cool shit really diving into a band hardcore.
Mhm.
And it changes the way you play and the way you write things. And it's kind of really interesting. Like the Death Clock years and the System of a Down years really changed the thought process of how to do things. And it's interesting.
Wow.
It's interesting really going balls deep. And it's not like doing a country set or a country cover set where you're covering a bunch of different bands.
Mm-hmm.
You're just really focusing on this one person and their playing style and how they do things. And it's pretty interesting. It changes.
It's fun.
Changes the
It's
way
like
you do
it's like
things.
it's fun because it's like a
Yeah.
puzzle kind of.
And then you start pulling that into,
yeah, your own
your
writing.
normal band, your normal writing, and the techniques and stuff you learn from it. It's pretty neat.
Well, I
It's
know.
pretty cool.
I know. I always loved the Deftones and Korn, but I don't know if I was like they're great musicians, but when you take their actual music that they made and you dive into it, like you said, for a whole album, you're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like I like what this is. I see what they did
Yeah.
here, and it's not what I would have done. It's actually pretty hard too, and wow,
Yeah.
like all the Eagle bands, I'm like, oh, I could play that in like 30 minutes. Yeah, you could play that one song, but now dive into their whole catalog and learn all their music, and you'll find out why they're such good bands.
And every show you'll have someone that's in the band going, I want to play this song, or we have to
Oh,
play
yeah.
this song.
That's
And
the
it's a
fun part,
song
too.
that you either don't know or you don't like. And you're like, okay, well, since you're playing the song I really want to play, I'll play the song you really want to play. And it really, it opens your mind up to different things. Like when you start diving into songs like that, like songs you've never listened to. The Deftones one was crazy.
It was.
Because
was like,
realizing that their wall of sound is so simple.
Yeah.
So freaking simple.
But then they had some of those licks where they would skip strings that you're like, okay, this is actually a pretty cool riff.
And the way they do
that I would
it,
hear like
yeah.
Iron Maiden just throw it a little bitty part.
Yeah.
Not the same speed, Robo-Tuner, but the lick. My main music critic.
But it's a fun night.
Thomas.
It's a fun night. Everybody dresses up like the band. I've already got my
We still want that third
Billy Idol
Deftones
outfit.
song. We want to throw in one of our sets, the one that we all wanted to do but just didn't get ready.
Yeah.
Wasn't there yet. The slow one,
Minerva.
yeah.
Yeah, we still need to work that up. But yeah, everybody gets dressed up. It's costume time. It's Halloween. It's fun.
Cool.
The
It's a fun time.
Billy Idol set's gonna be silly.
Yeah, and actually, Allie's old enough to go now.
Oh,
So is
no.
Lane.
Yeah.
Actually, can you delete I just said their names.
She's been in here all night and said
Yeah,
her
I'm so
name.
scared that our asshole listeners are going to be like, "Hey, like your daughter, dude," and I'm going to kill.
Isn't Cicada 21
I will kill.
holy?
No.
No.
They're not.
Or
Death.
actually, I don't. Maybe.
Death.
I was thinking of Mass.
Fatality.
Yeah.
Because if you could bring kids if they were yours and stuff.
We've gotten away with some stuff, but it's just been in and out. Like
Yeah.
Can't bring random kids.
Well, they X your hands real big, so like normal. But
you can't load them up in the band van. Wait,
what?
What?
I don't know about that. Anyway, so that's the
I brought the
upcoming.
kids.
What shows do you have?
That's
on
what
the docket?
James has to do. He has to get out of the band van and go, I brought the kids.
Got the free. So
The candy van.
we actually don't have any band shows until the end of September. But then I think the first weekend of October we're slated to play the Denton Arts and Jazz Festival, hopefully. And we're
Y'all
still
aren't
waiting to hear if we're
jazz.
up for. It's not jazz, but we're going to represent rock. And then still waiting to hear if the arch goggle thing works out. The problem is that my drummer just had shoulder surgery, so he's out for a few months.
Mm.
And then we got just had our first practice this last weekend, but got a girl, Sarah Savage. I don't know if you know who she is. She plays drums. And so she started learning our stuff. And so we're going to get her tuned up over the next couple of months.
So you
for
have
these
a
shows.
brother that plays drums. You can't just get him to sub in for.
We talked about it, and one, I don't know how interested he is because he's sort of getting away from that a little bit. And the other thing, he spends so much time traveling to these Comic-Cons, he's not available.
Yeah.
And so if he wasn't doing that, but the weekends that we have these shows planned, he's not even in town.
Dude, we need to go to one of his Comic Cons and see.
Just
he can
show
get-
up?
Yeah,
Be
like,
like-
hey man, get us backstage. We want to meet Aquaman again.
We're gonna have burgers with Aquaman
We wanna
again.
eat
There's
some of them
supposed to be
burgers.
one coming up somewhere around Waco or something in the next couple of months he's going to be at. So
Man, I want to
hit
go
him
to
up.
one of those horror ones that they do. I've never been to the horror ones. I've been to the comic ones and stuff, but the horror shows and stuff where they have all the Chainsaw Massacre people and stuff like that.
Remember the erotic one we were supposed to go to,
Yeah.
but I think
Was
we were
COVID?
both out of town. It was when we were in Nam or something like that, but they had the big erotic one in Dallas.
It was the one time, right? They
Yeah.
didn't do it again after
That's the
that.
one I want
is
to
that
go
the one
to.
where you brought the kids too?
Yeah.
I
I brought the kids.
I got the kids.
Wrong country.
Yeah.
Wrong
You can't
country.
do that
guys.
here.
Can't do that here. Oh man, we're jokes. It's jokes. TSA.
Yeah.
It's all jokes. Everything we say.
We're all having fun
Or
here.
whoever you are.
The
that's listening.
TSA doesn't have
Man,
any
I think
legal
the freaking
authority outside of the airport.
the librarians of Arlington, Texas, are listening to me sometimes, man.
I mean, the DA of Tarrant County is, so.
True, and screwing up my cases.
Well,
It's not. I'm
Well,
not.
there
lying.
it is. Recorded history.
well, there it is.
Actually, I don't know about the acting DA, but the one that had my case.
The old one, yeah.
Yeah, I think he
did.
he lost the case when I was there.
I think Eddie Brown wrote an article about him and got him kicked out of office or something.
Thank Eddie. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate your work. He was worthless.
Worthless. All right. Well, go
great to
grab
meet-
you
yeah.
your the Traumatics on Instagram, Facebook.
So we got a Facebook page. Really, if you want to get the full on thing, go to our website, thetraumatics.com. It's got band pictures, links to their songs, some videos. I'll post some upcoming announcements, that kind of thing. But yes, please follow us on Instagram and
OnlyFans?
Facebook. What's that?
You got your OnlyFans?
Who?
Your
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
My OnlyFans.
Only
You don't have an
Oh.
OnlyFans?
I don't
He's
have
lost.
an OnlyFans.
Oh no.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
don't look at me, man.
And I have,
don't
and I have
any
a
idea
TikTok
what these
account
two are
that we don't
talking
use
about.
either yet. I'm still learning all that kind of stuff. But really, rather just kind of see you at the shows. That'd be awesome. Super cool. And-
OnlyFans is a great website for building out your fan
Yeah.
base.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's
Your
built so
true
you can
fans.
get your real fans.
Yeah,
Just
to-
use your burner
real
phone
fans.
Yeah.
and your burner
Yeah,
credit
but I
card.
already have all my family's email.
No.
Well, that's a different kind of. You
That's
got to
a-
go overseas for
Yeah.
that.
it helps people build out their
My,
fan
my
base.
real fan.
Yeah.
I will have to check that out. Thank you.
Extended.
I think you definitely.
And then, of
could
course,
use
we're all
an
on the
OnlyFans
streaming
account.
platforms.
What about
OnlyFans.
iTunes? You good on iTunes? Can I rip some?
Yes.
Some, I
Yeah.
can. Did you already say that?
iTunes, Pandora. You can get the stuff off Bandcamp. We got a Bandcamp page too.
KXT.
Napster.
Yeah, I mean we got stuff on rotation on KTCU and KUZU. KNON has played our stuff.
KNON's playing some killer
KXT
stuff
hasn't put us in
lately.
regular rotation yet, but we make
DYI.
occasional appearances on their local show.
Mm.
And I think they're getting ready to play one of our new ones in the next week or two. 881 Indie has played our stuff during their homebrewed segment.
Homebrew.
Amplify it
Like
17.
like booze.
We're Amplify 817
Oh, there you
artists.
go.
Got that.
So our first album is on Amplify 817, so you can stream that for free or download it if you got a library card. Yeah,
I
we're
might have
out
started
there.
something.
I just
I
got a
think you
text
like us.
message. I just got a text message that said, "Do not go to OnlyFans."
Do not.
Yeah,
Huh?
do not go to OnlyFans.
Me?
So you do
Or
not
you
go to
do-
OnlyFans.
don't.
I don't.
Yeah,
Said
We were
they
pulling your leg.
requested. Yeah, don't go to
OnlyFans is
yeah.
not a good place.
No, use Ashley. Go to Ashley Madison.
Do you really not?
Can you put your music on that?
Yeah.
They don't.
I don't think you can.
Ashley Madison's. Is it still? It's no
You know
longer
who
in
tried?
business.
You know who tried to hook your old man up with Ashley
still
Madison after
active?
his divorce?
See, like, didn't
I
they
thought you're
take?
supposed to be married to be on that.
Didn't they take that down?
Oh, yeah,
'cause of
that's
the-
right.
It's supposed to be affairs. Not,
Yeah.
He was trying to get me killed. I'm the Biden here.
I thought it was a chicken joint.
No.
I'm out.
No,
No.
What just happened?
Ashley. Well, didn't they?
How do you know about Ashley Madison?
Because I watched the documentary.
Cut her, Mike.
A bunch of people offed themselves after like the.
Whoa.
No,
Well,
I want to watch that documentary. Do they really?
Yeah,
haven't seen it
their
either.
their
I've seen it
information got leaked, and it like literally like men killed them, died over it.
well, a bunch got divorced too.
A bunch got
obviously.
divorced.
Well, the same thing happened with Enron. It happens.
and
Yeah.
it was bad. Like a lot of people died because of it.
Some say the end is new.
Can it
Just for a little nookie, you know.
Just every.
I did it for the.
Say
nookie.
It's all about
Good
the
episode,
privates. The privates just get in the way of living
Everything.
a normal life.
right?
Shout out to Ashley, Miss Ashley Madison.
The chicken joint?
No.
Rogers Hot Rogers? Chicken?
I don't know.
What is it?
Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I'm scared
You don't
to
have
plug
a
to this
podcast
artist.
show?
To this, if I had a podcast show,
You would dominate?
It would dominate.
It'd be Kill
It'd
Tony than
outshine.
you.
He'd kill. Kill Tony, me, and then maybe a few other no names.
I'm sure you'd be better than me.
And I'd go everywhere.
All right, guys, I'm out.
All right, we're out of here.
I
Later.
want
fun, guys.
McDonald's.
McDonald's, here we
I thought you were ordering McDonald's.
No.
All right.
Oh, it's caught on me.
All right, chat room. We're out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Have fun. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next
Who
week.
texted you to not
Maybe.
go to OnlyFans?
We'll
What
tell
does
you
that
later.
mean?
You don't know what? You actually don't know what OnlyFans is?
I don't know what it is.
It's a. It's.
Twitter?
Dude,